Hello everyone, we're back from Knowledge Gap and we're here for Ahten City Underground number 3 where we're seeing an immediate matchup between one of the coaches of the teams and a teammate of Pineapple, the substitute coach. It's a Liari versus Cow showdown as Bun Bun Bonanza take on the Striking Gamers.
Yeah, super going to be a really fun match here. Bun Bun Bonanza, actual NASA team, playing against, well, it looks like a partial NASA team, as we had just mentioned just a couple of seconds ago off stream. But man, this will be fun. I love watching like the NASA teams like change their skill level to adjust to like something like a local every week.
Yeah.
Super interesting.
It's very different prep, right? Because when you're in Nassau, there are a finite number of teams. You're prepping for one team every week. But when you're playing in this, like you said, local type of tournament, you have to practice for everybody. This tournament is so stacked, so deep. There are so many NASA players involved, and Striking Gamers, the NASA players on this team are no slouches either.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I think the intricacies get like, it just changes the dynamic because you usually have a ban for a character in mind. You might want to play around that ban for stages in mind, and now it's kind of like you're playing like really advanced solo queue. So it's like anyone can kind of team with anybody, but you're not entirely prepped for the team. You're prepped for maybe a player that you know is like pretty good on one character.
Yeah, the flexibility of rosters adds a lot to the dynamics here, and the map pick was Demon Deus.
Ooh.
This is a very violent map. Wait a second, why are we going...
Hey, I'm saying Night Market.
Why are we going Night Market? That might be a remake unless something's changed. Yeah, okay. It will be a remake shortly, so it'll take a second for us to get back into things, but...
Yeah, hopefully we use up the spark of leadership RNG in this remake.
Well, we should get out of here real quick.
Yep, 3 seconds. All right. Yeah, so I mean, another interesting thing is that like, certainly, Bun Bun Bonanza's been in Nassau, played a lot. People seen bans against them, and it is kind of like the same, to play against them as everyone else. So, Striking Gamers probably have a ban in mind for them. They've seen their gameplay, so it might be like an Amy ban, or perhaps a Rasmus ban for Scyther.
Yeah.
Like, well,
I think you've picked up on it, right? The Rasmus ban, possible, but the issue with the predictable bans that we usually see in a case like this is that it's actually a Demon Deus map. Yeah. So there's going to be a lot of violence here. Liari, not known for device as much as her other characters, will still be picking it. Lilybun dropping to the Finny here. And the Finny is will get banned to try and mitigate some of the damage, but it's a twin drive Deadeye start, so... Even still, even if this Rasmus gets picked, it'll be Vice and now. This damage is still going to be high all around.
Dang, Deadeye. I mean, a Finny ban is so... I think that's a good call, honestly. If you're not playing it, you get rid of it. That is an outrageous amount of damage. And, well, instantly we see the nows are coming out. She's just got, like, the good core control, the healing that you want. She has been nerfed, though. She's killable. And I do like the Vice pick for Lilybun as well. It's like tons of damage on both sides here.
Yeah, you mentioned the nerfs, but this character is still insane in terms of presence. Pick her or ban her, she will still arrive. And absolutely. If you're familiar with the League of Legends copy pasta, she's like the enchanter, brawler, mage, fighter, something. It is crazy how much of everything she does.
She's really good at everything as well. And let's see, 3 Deaths is probably sitting pretty happy here on the X, just kind of playing something that they always play.
Yeah, used to be known as a complete X1 trick. Now has picked up a lot of characters, but that comfort is still showing his 3 Deaths in with the KO, with the Strike War Cows, with the dribble, and this Striking Gamers team is looking so good.
Yeah, great opener for them. Immediately sniping a kill on Lilybun there, and 3 Deaths just pounding away, getting a ton of damage.
And with all of that damage down on a map like this, they'll only scale further. With both teams having a now, that healing's equivalent. And look at Scyther, basically dead already. One hit will be all it takes. The regen's being stopped, but they do give up a barrier in the process.
Yeah, they really unloaded everything on Scyther. And we saw that now nerf come around basically immediately. Now she no longer unstaggers somebody from her ultimate, which actually is kind of a big deal. So you can still snipe somebody after they get now ulted. It's going to be a tough spot to get out of here as 3 deaths, and Cows are putting on the pressure. And yeah, the strike into ult strike, resetting the strike cooldown, is going to be enough to get that in there against Vice, who's not super good at dealing with like melee pressure.
Yep. And with that, it's looking a little shaky for Bunbun in these early rounds. And keep in mind, this X character is supposed to be a little weaker in the early rounds, so every set that the striking gamers are able to win is like buying insurance for the rest of the game, as despite both barriers going down 3 deaths, finding one on the other side, they're trying to push forward, and Bunbun really doesn't want to use these flips here, but might have to.
Yeah, I agree with that, absolutely. I mean, 3 deaths has Twin Drive, which isn't even like not even really a thought for any X mains, and he's just going to scale harder and harder, and Cows is actually going to make it so they can't clear it with the Zentaro ultimate, and the Vaga's going to try to get it out of here with Cows, and they... Ooh, Lilybutton gets a great secondary in there, almost gets the flip, and great defense by Vaga, though. Cows and 3 deaths are going to probably try to get in there. Vaga's defense to Cows. Scyther does have flip, though, so it's going to be really dangerous. Vaga's probably going to have to flip in defense. 3 deaths once again on the offensive here with Vaga as a support with their own flip. And Lilybutton does a great defense there.
Oh, but a great primary by Vaga. Completely denies Scyther on the attempt. Now 3 deaths has an open field to work with. That's 3-0 in the favor of the striking gamers. What an upset in this first set.
Yeah, that primary from Vaga was like absolutely perfect placement. And unfortunately, it looks like Lilybutton was perhaps reading a different core strike with that secondary and could not snipe it there. But 3 deaths, first pick, clean draft. Quick strike maybe? Quick strike definitely.
And
no monumentalist though. Good, lucky for the striking gamers too.
But what my eyes are on is actually that Among Titans for Liari. That reduced strike hitbox is a little rough, but Scyther 12 in particular, getting that increased size is such high value for the team of Bunbun Bonanza, because this guy has solo carried so many points, and size is the only really like best in slot that Rasmus has, and it's quite good.
Yeah, agreed. And 3 deaths is only building more pieces of the puzzle as he gets one of X's best awakenings there. Quick strike is going to be super good in every situation, and then striking gamers immediately getting both barriers there and putting on a ton of pressure already. Hopefully the size from Scyther can mitigate some sort of pressure here and maybe get another barrier. Liari's such a small little now to see if she can strike war these 2 players, and wow, they actually end up finding a kill on 3 deaths there.
Lilybutton pushing the core forward. Scyther as well. Both barriers are down. The striker advantage is good, but only for 2 more seconds. And Cows and Vaga still defending, going around the entire world, despite all the help from Liari. Scyther trying to get the barrier desperately, but Vaga still manages to get it away, has the flip available, and just slowly passes it out. But Scyther will catch it on the other side, continue to put the pressure up. But another passing play goes through 3 deaths, blocked away by Scyther this time, and 3 deaths is looking a little low, but does get healed up.
Yeah, great recognition there by Vaga, and it's going to be a tough spot here. Okay, yeah, going to have to flip because Cows did have the second, or the passive there. It was going to make things tough, and really great primary. Oh, but couldn't get it away from 3 deaths. The Giant actually just simply strikes it in. Man, advantage here for striking gamers by a lot. They're doing a pretty great job against this powerful team.
They continue to put on the pressure through Scyther, going for a cheeky kill onto 3 deaths near the edge, not quite finding it, but that's a lot of damage down onto the X, who's going to have to play carefully. And we're seeing some of the Scyther scoring magic here as 1 barrier does fall, but it's only 1 barrier so far, and this corner is looking really, really scary as Liari tries desperately to push in, but Vaga is there, gets the core away from Scyther, and the strike wars are being opted in by 3 deaths, who is trying to get it onto the barrier.
Yeah, and I really like that back pass there from Liari to Lilybutton to get it out of the Zentaro ult there. Really good idea to not try to deal with the RNG if it's stopping the ball. And Scyther's just trying to get this 1 barrier, but Vaga's kind of being an unstoppable wall here. Oh, as I say that, Lilybun gets in another strike in there to grab that barrier, but now we're gonna have to see if Vaga can defend one more time. Liara is really close to flip, and oh my gosh, the now secondary not enough from Vaga. It's gonna be a point there for Bun Bun Bonanza.
Well played by Scyther on that one, but there's still a lot of points to go, and if Striking Gamers can scale into more of the damage side of their composition, it's going to be scary. You see Liari already at half health. Scyther, though, pushing forward, getting a barrier, punishing Vaga for the clear attempt. This 3-Des desperately tries to get it through with the X Maximus, but it's not enough still. A good clear by Cows and Vaga, and the barrier still not taken for Bum Bum Bonanza, as on the other side, and now Primary will slowly drift the core and take a barrier.
Yeah, and another thing is, so it's like, both of these teams have a ton of damage. I mean, we have Bun Bonanza with Vice. I mean, Vice herself can do like a whole lot of damage, but I'm feeling that Striking Gamers are the ones that are just putting up the pressure most of the time, putting in the damage. I mean, I think Bun Bonanza is going to try to get like maybe a defensive perk or something to help. I mean, X, you know, Dead 3-Death's got no health right now, but he's kind of getting clean. But Cows can't really do it by himself. Vaga's going to have to try to get it out with 3-Deaths, and it's going to be a free barrier. Yeah, with the X Maximus indeed. One more attempt here from Striking Gamers.
Oh, great deflection.
Almost goes for a big play. He doesn't actually get it.
Yeah, Vaga's deflection with the secondary there saved it, but Scyther has another chance. Secondary up, another secondary by Vaga, but not enough as Bum Bum Bonanza takes the lead in the set.
Yeah, Vaga like just used that secondary to deflect something pretty threatening, and then Lilybun comes in there with flip, and it's going to make it kind of a checkmate in that spot. A really good recognition from Lilybun there.
Vaga still defending quite well on this now goalie, who is a little bit tricky to play in the goalie position, right? Doesn't really have a lot of those immediate tools, but does have a very good secondary and primary for defense, as we're seeing. And of course the healing coming down, saving Cows' life. But it's still looking a bit dangerous as 3-Deaths can't really find any possession. The core being controlled well by Bum Bum Bonanza. Lilybun with the primary, making sure 3-Deaths gets no fun this game as Cows is fighting for his life.
Yeah, as I say that Striking Gamers is really the ones going for damage here. We got Cows with just about no health here. They could make a play on him, but Scyther's health is also gone just about to nothing here. And Vaga's going to try to help finish him off, get the flip out of him, and they do. And as Bun Bun Bonanza does steal both barriers while the pressure is on Scyther, and he gets a kill and the point. That's extra experience.
Yep, and if there's any size or other good awakenings that come in for Scyther, that could be a game breaker, as Fighter Flight is available. That awakening so good, provides so much size, but Demolition, Knife's Edge as well. Size is always good, Knife's Edge for the speed near the edges, and that's what they opt for. Trying to pass this Heavy Impact down, but it's probably going to be denied. Yeah, Heavy Impact, great on now, even better on Vice. You do not want that falling, but it is a Spark of Leadership patch. Even a Soul Spark of Strength could turn this entire game around if Lilybun can pick up that Spark of Leadership later down the line.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see on how this Knife's Edge will work out. I mean, Scyther certainly had the pick of 8 different pretty good perks, and Knife's Edge, while I don't think is bad at all, it is, you know, you got to make use of it. You got to be very conscious about how you use it, and surely we'll see some great things coming out of that. They have the pressure on right now, though. Striking Gamers, 3-Deaths does have pressure on himself. Valga does get a really good heal on him there, though, but doesn't. Okay, yeah, you're gonna have to combine the now ultimate with their secondary to actually unstagger somebody. And it's going to be a whole ton of pressure here from Striking Gamers as X Maximus and Cows are just blasting the top lane here. Lilybun finally getting some pressure on the right side of the map. Alright, Cows going to keep the pressure on the bottom side. Vaga has flipped to get this out of here if they need it. It's going to be a now Ditto on the top lane here. Cows kind of just getting played around. It's going to be a flip. Oh! No flip. Possibly just got stunned there, actually, from the primary. Really great from Bum Bum Bonanza. That was a ton of pressure there on the top lane.
Yeah, that's the gameplay we expect from a Nassau team like Bum Bum Bonanza, especially when they keep possession in a corner of the map, and Lilybun can get in there with that eject button Vice. But right now, Liari's the one a little bit in danger, goes a little bit to the other side of the map as Scyther now with a scoring attempt, helped out by Lilybun with the special, but no, the core just flies to the other side. Vaga with a great play, but Cows will be taken out.
Yeah, there's good power play here from Bun Bun Bonanza. 3 deaths also looking pretty weak. Liari also looking pretty weak, and now they're going to have to survive this power play as Liari just stands on the health pack. Okay, pulling 3 deaths away from that. Actually going to get the core completely free, right over into possession from Bun Bun Bonanza. Vaga's going to have to try to get it out against Scyther, who also has Flip. Liari building one themselves. The ult's not going to be enough to catch the ball here. Vaga under a ton of pressure, but man, still holding this barrier. Really great job. Getting a barrier of themselves, in fact, while I'm talking about how much pressure they're under. Now they have a really big advantage, and yeah, giant X Maximus with that Demolitionist is really going to help stuff that core from that flip.
Great coverage. 3 deaths doesn't conserve that X Maximus. It pops it, and along with cows, is able to stuff the flip out, and that's the type of gameplay we need to see from the striking gamers. They need to get in Lilybun's face, control the core, keep it up constantly, because this Vice goalie's defensive capabilities aren't as good. But 3des is dying right now. So low health, barely staying alive, unstaggered for the moment, but gets clipped by the Thunderstruck. The Vice secondary doing so much damage. The primary coming into 3des, running away desperately, but will get KO'd.
That was such a good hook, man. It's like, normally you would say like, oh my gosh, why'd you hook across the map there? You just pull them off the map. But like having the secondary ready for the kill there, actually perfect. Now it's gonna be flipped by cows to try to get it out of there. Possession trying to maintain as Lilybun. Ooh, really great hook from Scyther there. It's gonna snap the barrier. All right, Lilybun's gonna have to try to get it out of here. They're making their assault though. Cows is gonna spend his primary, and oh, Lilybun's gonna use the ultimate there, and it's not gonna help her out. All right, she does have Flip, though, to defend against this. And okay, so Cows is going to ult it.
Oh, no!
Oh, I kind of own gold a little bit there with, like... I think it... Did Scyther, like, primary Vaga into the secondary? I'm not entirely sure what happened in that second, but the now drone did not entirely help.
Yeah, Vaga almost had to save. I think the secondary was just slightly misplaced, so the core ended up on the wrong side of it. Vaga's been so good otherwise, though, but Scyther, you talked about it. That hook to kill 3des on the top. It was some Smash 64 looking hit stun.
Yeah. Absolutely. Very fun to watch. And just, like, good in general. I mean, getting a kill across the map with max range Rasmus hook is, like, high value. Okay, really great primary there from Vaga. There's actually going to stop the core, give them possession, 3 deaths. And Vaga, okay, Vaga closing in now, trying to get the front side of that barrier, but actually they find a kill on Lilybun. So it's going to be a power play here, and let's see if they can get some possession. They have a pretty good assault here. Vaga's going to bring in from the back, and yeah, Cows just kind of grabs the barrier by himself, and now they're going to try to push it in. Okay, good flip from Scyther. Is going to mitigate all that pressure, well, at least half of it. Now they're going to have to mount another assault. Vaga's going to have to get a secondary, absolutely. That's why they're there. Okay, now we're in overtime.
Oh, but in the overtime, the core finds its way to Cows, and Cows will not miss that strike placement. And what I'd like to highlight, actually, is the passing plays from striking gamers. They kept it in front of the Bun Bun Bonanza net for so long that point.
Absolutely. And it's like, you know, we had overtime for like just about a second there. It's really jarring sometimes when overtime shows up and you're like, just not ready, just a second off, and it just like walks itself in. So really, sometimes you got to watch the clock. It's tough.
And Vaga's got to watch his health bar as well, because it's draining quickly. Scyther looking for the barriers as his chip damage might prove fatal. Scyther the one who is low now, but the now healing will keep him up for a little while longer. Cows and Vaga trying to make something happen. The strike wars won on the defense, but not quite enough on the offense as Lilybun continues to defend so well. But the striking gamers need to strike a little better here, because Lilybun is just getting it away every single time.
Yeah, super great defense from Lilybun right now. Now they're going to have to try to flip to get some sort of barrier here. I mean, the earlier you flip, the faster you get it back anyway, so it's like, you want to flip for first barrier, it's the worst thing in the world. But, oh man, Vaga just not quick enough on the reaction there, didn't have the right read, and it kind of just walks right on in past that flip, too. Really great shot from Liari.
Completely mixing of Vaga on that top-down 50-50. Now it's a rapid fire unlocked for Lilybun. So much more core control and chip damage for this Vice. And no, okay, it just goes on to Spark scaling. It is the Spark patch after all. And even if they lose here, they force a leadership deny, which is incredibly valuable.
Yeah, true. And we had 3 Sparks show up last draft there. So the literal last Spark is going to be leadership, and it's kind of up to Lilybun to get a good placement there. Some try to grab as much experience as possible to get in front of somebody, so they have to deny it. Really important deny, by the way.
Very, very important. I'm gonna look up the ability haste calculator real quick, because Lilybun has 28 ability haste, and rapid fire would have been 33% cooldown reduction.
Yeah. I'd like to know as well. I mean, I saw the calculation once. I just don't remember what it was exactly.
Okay.
Somebody's saying it's like the same thing as League.
It's the same thing as League. It's 22% cooldown reduction. So it's a little bit worse than rapid fire, but it's on all the abilities. So definitely a good trade-off, plus the spark value near the end. But right now, 3 deaths is in position in front of the net, and striking gamers, they're still striking.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, 22% cooldown on every move. That's kind of schnice, honestly. That's 2 great perks together there. So it's like, do not underestimate the power of the glasses. Instantly.
And I almost forgot, it's also the spark of power as well. The damage is pouring in for Bun Bun Bonanza, as the last point that they lost seems like a distant memory right now, as they're passing the core up, looking, but Cows in the midfield, almost blocking away everything. Scyther to the top side, good flip by Vaga to send it around the world into 3 Death's arms, who does get the strike ward, but Scyther in the 1v1 with the pull down, still defended away by Cows. And Liari on the final attempt? No.
I love that positioning from Cows there, by the way. It was like, I'm playing around the hook, he's going to hook. And it was absolutely what he wanted. But, oh my gosh, everyone's gone. There's nobody home. 3 Deaths is actually just beating down the door. Easy point.
That's the second point where 3 Deaths was just in the right position for the core to drift in. That's a lot to do with the sound waves on the sides, making the core curve up around the coverage that everyone's putting down. And this is a speed run. That's a 7-second goal.
7 seconds. All right, and Lilybun, yeah, had just these 4 perks make an unheard of amount of damage, also. But it's just not enough. As striking gamers are just kind of going in right now, bringing it to a set 5, and Spark of Leadership shows up. Who's gonna take it? Someone's got to take it.
Oh, this is a really awkward situation, right? Spark of Leadership gonna be denied here, but
100% denied.
Monumentalist also has to be denied. So this is a really awkward thing. No, Monumentalist let through for Vaga.
Okay, so I mean, man, that legit. This is like Hotshot Juno. This is like specialized Kazan. This changes the game. Monumentalist now. So Vaga is now a huge threat. Going to defend even harder, attack even harder, heal even harder. So we'll just see how they can deal with that as Vaga explodes, literally explodes.
Yep.
Lilybun, an unheard of amount of damage, actually stacking up the prize fighter. So man, they have a goal in mind. It was literally kill the goalie and send that core in.
The striking gamers had a 2-barrier lead, but it was not quite enough when your goalie is down, and even as strong of a combination as Monumentalist and that heavy impact is on now, Vaga needs to make use of it here, because Liari does have Timeless. It's like Monumentalist at home. It's still pretty good.
Yeah, it is. It is like Monumentalist at home. Still good. Absolutely still good. And sometimes better in rare situations where the primary will be like loading up a huge shot in like a different spot. But now it's really all up to striking gamers to evade Liari's ultimates and try to survive as long as they can, because it looks like, I mean, X surely has scaled. He's got 1-2 punch as well, but I feel like Bun Bun Bonanzas really might have won some of these. Maybe not won any of the awakenings, but they look good now. I will say that they look kind of good right now.
They do, but a lot of it's still on Lilybun to make the defense happen. A striker advantage for the striking gamers as they look for the KO as well. A great defense by Lilybun, using the special to rocket the core to the other side of the map, and Scyther can't quite get a hold of it. The flip has to be used. Lilybun last second. That's a striker advantage on the other side. Bun Bun has survived the 2v3 and now is in a 3v2.
Yeah, and it's going to be the defense here. Oh, nice. Okay, so Vaga and Deaths actually holding it down there with that flip as well. Scyther can't get his hands on the ball, and really good defense there. 3 Deaths is a huge threat right now, and just huge in general. So now Vaga's going to have to use that. Oh, yeah. Monumentalist hitting the ball basically wherever it is. And now they're about to have a huge assault here as they keep possession of the core. And Vaga does not let Scyther get his hands on it, which is important because we still got 1 barrier left and it can go down at any second, though. Liari's got her flip. Really going to make this assault here. They're going to use the flip. Yep. Going to grab that barrier. And now Vaga's kind of under some pressure. Okay, man. We got some hot shot going on here.
Yeah,
That's what it looks like.
The core flying so fast. Lilybun Scyther, all three members of Bun Bun Bonanza combine, and Vaga has nowhere to clear it. One was covering the top, one at the middle, and Scyther at the bottom. These points are going long, but Bun Bun Bonanza with a 2-0 lead. One goal is all it takes for them to take it here.
Yeah, very experienced team here. I actually didn't really even notice 3Death's health go down that last time. Maybe just fell off the map. But yeah, Scyther actually has no health as I'm trying to watch the ball. They're kind of knocking his head in right now as Vaga gets him away from that barrier there. 3Death's going to grab another barrier. Maybe the X-Maximus is about to come out here with Cow's Assault. All right, actually, Liara is going to do a great job midfielding there and gets it to Scyther to get it out. 3Deaths is going to get it with the X-Maximus. Okay, they really just have to defend here. They need only one more point, and Striking Gamers are under a whole lot of pressure right now. They still got possession.
They still have two barriers, the Striking Gamers, but they've lost from this position before. 3Death still on the top corner, making sure to cover Vaga's great shot from the other side of the map. The Striking Gamers still in this crucial fifth set of the game.
Yeah, it looked like that core kind of also just walked in there past Lilybun, and 3Death didn't even hit it, but in the right position to defend it either way. So now we're going to have, once again, Striking Gamers are going to try to defend that barrier with Monumentalist now. And unfortunately, the Zentaro ult does not hit the mark there, and both barriers are going to go down for Striking Gamers and only one for Bun Bun Bonanza. And it looks like Vaga's strike is actually on cooldown. That's going to be the game, in fact.
Bun Bun Bonanza making it happen here. It was a close game in the beginning. The Striking Gamers looked really good, but Bun Bun Bonanza closed it out in the end in pretty clear fashion, I think.
I agree. It felt like Striking Gamers had a minor advantage right in the beginning. It felt like they were truly kind of the damage comp and putting on the pressure, but then Lilybun decided to get a unheard of amount of damage. I mean, they let the Monumentalist go to Vaga and they still won. I mean, that's some good confidence right there. They're pretty happy about that one.
Yeah, for sure. And for Striking Gamers, I think still a great performance, right? You would have preferred to win, of course, but
yeah.
No,
that was great.
It was close for sure, but unfortunately for the Striking Gamers, they fall down in the losers bracket, and immediately they face the Sauna Strikers, the 6th seed, with players such as 3Z Breezy, Merchant, and Joker.
Wait, that's like no joke. That's like actually like another bunch of good players. Wait a second.
They might have been upset a little early, making the losers bracket very dangerous right now.
Yeah, as sometimes, these things do happen, sometimes good players get upset and the losers bracket is lava. But, I mean, Bun Bun Bonanza going to be pretty happy here in the winners bracket as they are going to have to play against Final Destination in winners finals here. And the other side is going to be Blast Off and the Christmas Crusaders.
Yeah, this is a bit of a strange winner semis, right? The 1 and 2 seeds upset, falling down to the losers bracket as well. The losers full of demons as this winner semis. Teams that we generally would see in winner semis, but this is an especially stacked tournament, so.
Yeah, this is kind of insane right now. I mean, where the heck? I'm trying to find Bozo Bunch in the winners side. I see them here in losers. Where the heck are they over here?
They lost to round 2.
Where's round 2, dude? What the heck? This is crazy. How'd they This is some good upsets right now. Striking Gamers, look at that. Beats the winners of the last tournament.
But we're moving on to the other winner semis, which is Blast Off versus Christmas Crusaders. And this is a matchup between Fudgy Waffles Drew and Frightfully Fresh versus Gumi, Grimella, and Bells.
Blast Off had defeated my boys, bro. My Doggo.Dog boys. They'll be back. They'll be back for revenge.
Yeah, Doggo Dog has been doing quite well, especially in this tournament series, Ahten City Underground. They've had a string of good placements, so I'm confident that they can make it happen. But if they beat the Magical Meeps in losers round 3, they are against Snake, You Already Lose, and Kainoob.
Oh my god, that is disgusting. I mean, I have total confidence. BH, total confidence in my boys. I mean, no problem defeating possibly some of the best players we literally have to offer. I mean, I think people are saying like, oh, Kainu's the best player right now. Maybe, but not in this tournament. Maybe, I don't know. Shit, I don't know.
I'm just gonna add you real quick in the video game so I can like invite you more conveniently because we're gonna be hopping lobbies back and forth.
Yeah, that's all good. I got you.
This
is fun though. This is fun. We love this. All right. Yeah, so they defeated my boys. I mean, this is a pretty good team. I mean, we had Frightfully Fresh as a semi. I don't know if it was like a sub. He wasn't a starter for like for Quest, but he was playing on Quest for a little bit. That was cool. Maybe it was just a sub. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yes, we know that these are good players.
Yes. Fresh now playing on Last Call, of course. The Quest Empire has had a lot of players, right? Leo Leon was on Quest during the beta. Lilybun was on Quest. Who else? There were so many players that have been on Quest Esports in the past.
Yeah. I mean, you dip your feet in there a little bit, you see what's going on, and then stuff happens, and now the team is what it is, which is crazy to think that Slipin ended up on the team, but in the goalie spot. It's a crazy world with him, I'll tell you. But this isn't about Quest right now. This is about advanced solo queue, local of the week. This is like this truly is just like solo queue squared. Like, everyone's got to just be like, oh, I just don't feel like playing against Drew's Kazan. Let's ban Kazan. Oh, Bells? I mean, I'm probably banning Juliet. I'm not going to lie. So it's like, I don't know. I think honestly, the nuance, it could be diminished a little in a weekly like this, where you're just like, I mean, you don't have the practice, right? You don't have the, oh, I'm definitely going to ban this stage against this guy. And I know his pockets have, this Kazan in it, or this Rasmus in it. It's just like, yeah, I just know this guy plays this. I got to get out of there.
Well, there's a lot of maps being banned right now. Inky's gone, Oni gone, Gates gone, Lab gone, and Deus gone, which means it's either Taiko Temple or Night Market.
Oh, I feel like they definitely go Night Market. Something's telling me that you want to probably go Night Market. I feel like it's a Night Market mode if we have Blast Off picking the stage first. I think it's going to be a Night Market start. That's my hard read. Not specifically because I think Bells is going to play Dubu or anything. Just saying.
Well, we'll have to see. And it's looking very Night Market-y, as you said. As predicted, the boring map comes out.
That's what I would have done. I'm not gonna lie, that's what I would have done. I'm not trying to play. Tycho's cool. Honestly, even if like Tycho is like kind of half clown map, it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. It's not like super clowny. Like Old Obscura, a little clowny. Inky's Clown Town, Clown Bonanza, if you will. But I think Tycho has a good enough amount of I don't know, skill shots to make it so it's not just like, oh, this is dumb. But we're going to Night Market, so don't have to worry about that.
Yep. And of course, these two teams very comfortable on the map. I'm interested in what Fudgy and Drew will pick. Fudgy, probably on Era Duty, but there's a lot of other characters that could be played here. And on the other side, I don't know, actually. All these players could just play really standard picks, or they could pull out anything.
Yeah, I'm hoping to see... Okay, so I mean, I think we're going to have like a Juliet ban from Blast Off, and I'll just guess another like Kazan ban for Drew. Maybe they just don't feel like playing against her. Or maybe like a Juno or something. But yeah, I think we're probably going to see some standard stuff. I feel like Night Market's kind of like it's not like a big map. And it's not like I fall off the map at every kind of minute there. It's not like a super brawly map like Demon Days. It kind of feels like you can play like you'd be happy to play Rasmus like midfield there. You'd probably be happy to play even like Rune midfield there. And you probably won't hate your life. A lot of picks I feel like can come out on Night Market.
Yeah, but there's also a good chance that we see like Mako Era X or Mako Era Julie or something like that. The double speed up into making your brawler go win. But if your prediction's right, your predictions have been right so far. If there's a Juliet ban targeted at Bells, we might see something a little different. Maybe some Zentaro action, possibly.
True. Like to see the Zentaro. Maybe we have Bells going on Estelle someday, you know, so I'm playing a little Estelle on like solo queue today. That'd be funny. But yeah, we're gonna say, oh, okay, instantly snapping onto the now ban, which makes sense in like a macro perspective, I think. Maybe Gramella. So Gramella probably plays a bunch of now.
Yeah, the character is just pretty strong on the map where her secondaries can take up the entire lane, and she also kind of does everything. So we are seeing the Drew Zentaro very, very comfortable on that pick. On the other side, Estelle coming out for Gramella, most likely, who has played that pick so often. But it might also be a Gumi Estelle if he's feeling a little bit spicy.
Yeah, true. And so we have the Juliet. Almost definitely gonna be your boy Bells on the Juliet.
Oh, that's a Gumi Vice goalie if I've ever seen one. So it's gonna be a lot of KOs. Rapid fire spec training.
Yeah, this is interesting. Gumi on the Vice. It's like it almost feels like you'd only ever pick Vice for like mega damage, but it doesn't feel like Estelle and Juliet like do the damage consistently. But hey, you know, they're probably gonna find kills at some point anyway. I mean, Bells has actually decided to take specialized training over rapid fire, which is kind of fair. And immediately Bells does find a kill on Fudgy Waffles there. Gonna make a power play right off the bat.
Yeah, and a more recent innovation on the Estelle is actually the siphoning wand for a lot more damage, as Estelle turns into a damage character. Fresh, not there in time. A great strike war win by Bells to get it past in the interaction. This team is a little good, but I think all of like the top 10 teams in this tournament are incredibly stacked.
Yeah, true. And yeah, like you're saying, the Wand Estelle is such an interesting, like it seems like outlandish, but as of recent, some people have been saying that it is kind of just optimal at this point. Like Wand getting multiple buffs actually just makes it sometimes even better than Vambrace for healing. And it just does a ton of damage, stops them from regenerating, and it's really strong. But as I'm talking there, they're going to find Bells in the corpse mode. Gumi's going to have to defend this away here with Gramella, and they're going to have to deal with a power play. Wow, goes for the ultimate instead of the flip, and then does flip to get Drew right off of him. And it's going to be a little mishook there from Fresh. Not going to do anything there. Gramella's going to try to get the barrier by themselves. They're going to find a kill all the way over there into the goal.
Oh, Drew with 2 kills. Bell's forced to play goalie, but playing it decently for now. But it's a 50-50, and
yeah,
Drew has the agency there.
Those are always kind of funny, because it's like, when you're so, like, when you just miss the 50-50, you look so dumb. But, like, we all know it's like, that's not your fault.
Alright, but Fresh, Drew, looking good as usual. Drew has been particularly good so far in these points, getting almost all the barriers, it feels like, on both of the points that have been scored by either team. Fudgy Waffles almost dying, has to burn core flip to stay alive, but that siphoning wand coming into effect, that guy's health bar is staying down.
Yeah, and we can see that. I was saying that, like, maybe Crusaders might not have like enough damage to just like sustain, but they are kind of doing exactly that. Like, everyone just throw one ability every couple of seconds on somebody plus the wand, and that kind of just keeps people super low. And now we're gonna have both barriers going down for Crusaders here, and we're gonna have to get blast off a point. Okay, he's gonna try to defend it away here, but Gumi's gonna have a nice ult. Okay, no, oh, just got flipped from the orb, but it really hard to. It does make a sound, actually. That would have been a pretty legendary flip there, to just be like, oh, the sound, smash, you know?
Yeah, it was definitely a super tight window to get the flip in. But maybe even conserving for next round, right? Meter is incredibly high for the Christmas Crusaders, and with all this meter, maybe they'll make something happen here.
Absolutely. I mean, it is kind of just straight up threatening. Like, when the opponents just have so many flips, sometimes you kind of have to, like, you feel like you have to alter your play a little bit and try to, like, I don't know, do a little more, spend a little more abilities doing damage, try to threaten somebody into losing their flip, as we see right there, using flip to get a kill, which is fair, you know. It's like kind of feels like an argument there. Like, would you spend flip for a kill? And it's like, probably most of the time, I'd say. So now we're going to have the power play is going to be over, actually. So Crusaders are going to have to defend this flip here, as they do pretty easily. Drew's going to come flying in there with the boost. Ultimate pressure on Gumi, and now it's going to be a power play for Crusaders. Gumi still keeps that flip. Bell's healing himself right back up there. Carmella trying to... Oh, yeah, they're actually stacking a little bit of damage on Drew there as they have this power play. And Bell's with a great dash punch. Going to drop that last barrier. Now they're going to go for the point that they so much deserve, as Gumi's going to... Oh, actually gets there without the flip, but then Blastoff gets a barrier of themselves. And now Bells has just about 0 health left. And it's really going to be a great shot there from Carmella. Actually going to get the primary to shoot it right on in.
It was looking a little shaky for the Christmas Crusaders. They weren't really putting together the scoring opportunity. Fresh was holding so well. But Carmella, man, just to make it happen, and that's a lot of damage down onto Drew, who is staggered, almost dead, but so is Bells. But the combo doesn't quite come through for Fresh. Bells gets out of hit stun, gets the elusive off, stays alive, and is almost fully regen now.
Yeah, the evasive there from Bells, keeping him alive, very important here. And I do want to mention that we actually, Frightfully Fresh, man, on the Rasmus. Oh, okay, everyone's kind of just gonna go for damage here. Okay, we're gonna have Fudgy Hospitals actually push the ball, gonna cause a little bit of problems now, and Drew's gonna get blasted into the corner though. Doesn't actually fall off the map, and now we're gonna have a good position from Gumi to get a primary power play for the Crusaders there. As Bell is gonna try to break some of these slimes and try to get a nice dash punch in there. Gumi's gonna set up Carmella. Having a little bit of trouble here. Fresh is doing a really good job of defending, and Drew is back to just cause a bunch of problems, and those problems are going to be a power play as they send Grimella out off the map.
And Fudgy Waffles now the one playing core control, but they need to make something happen quick, but Drew does. The Strike War win. Fresh barely getting there in time for the secondary, and a crazy bounce by Fudgy Waffles. What a shot to get them the first set.
Wait, that was kind of nice. That was... Man, it was like Fresh kind of like abandoned the barrier and then got there just in time with the secondary to actually like red ball it right down, and Fudgy Waffles actually caught that and is rewarded insanely with Hotshot Juno. I mean, that's what happens when you win the set. You're the MVP. You get the money.
Oh, and they get the singular Spark of Strength onto Drew. This is a win-win. I was thinking of whether it would have been better for Fudgy to take the Hotshot or the single Spark of Strength, because this is the Spark patch after all, but it is not denied away by Grumella. It gets passed down to Drew, and this is a huge win for the side of Blastoff.
Yeah, I mean, having that Spark is huge. Having the Hotshot Juno is huge. I think Frightfully Fresh is pretty happy to kind of, just take that cast to last, be left with sort of nothing there, as his teammates get some great pressure with these good awakenings there. It's going to have to be some denies later. And then we're going to have one barrier down for each team there. Gumi's going to use the ultimate to blast it away there. Bells is pretty low. Going to have to play a little defensive there. Brimelo is going to take the forward spot with Gumi. Okay, Gumi decides to leave. All right, it's going to be tough to get the barrier from this position there. Bells, kind of, okay, Brimelo setting up Bells for a dash punch. It's kind of long range, though. It actually gets dash pulled punch. Got pulled by the hook there and ends up falling into the goal from just enough damage. Now it's going to be a power play from Blastoff. Let's see if they can get this one barrier with Bells out of the way right now. Carmella's going to make it tough for them. Oh, really good strike from Gumi there to not fold to the Zentaro passive. And now it's going to be even more pressure. Drew is actually not going to... Well, relentless as he was, it's actually going to send him off the map. And another amazing hook by Frightfully Fresh, and it's going to be overtime now as Crusaders have their advantage. And yeah, great shot. Overtime, Gumi reinforces it with a primary. So good positioning there from Crusaders.
Blastoff, though, looked really good, right? Drew stayed alive for a ridiculously long time, got the barriers, and kept putting pressure down. The gameplay is going to have to be a lot cleaner from the Crusaders if we're going to see them make a comeback, because Blastoff, they can scale crazy in the Awakenings if they win another set.
Yeah, I like that Drew is playing like really evasive. They are kind of stacking the damage on him, but he's not really dying all that much. And as we're saying this, Grimella's health falls pretty low, but gonna heal a little bit back here with the wand, in fact. And now, okay, yeah, you have to be evading that Vice ultimate with Drew there. Now Gumi's gonna lose both of the barriers, though. Okay, so it's gonna be a tough spot here for the Crusaders. Okay, yeah, Fresh is kind of just an iron wall. Like, he is so comfortable on the Rasmus. He's been playing Rasmus before Rasmus is even like good. So it's like this dude is on the comfortability, and man, Bells and Drew are kind of just duking it out right now. As I'm actually not entirely sure what hit that in there. I tried to watch. Help me out here, Saya.
So Fudgy Waffles hit it straight forward, but it looked like Gramella hit it in. But Fudgy just made it all happen while Drew was dying in the corner, which is just a crazy 1v3 outplay to make as Fudgy goes for another one, gets 2 barriers now, and a pass down potentially to Drew. Gramella stops it, but Fudgy Waffles making all the difference as Bells creates a power play, but both barriers are down. One Fudgy play could end this point, and it does.
That's one Fudgy play. Absolutely, dude. This guy's actually kind of going, is this guy the GOAT? Is this guy insane right now, dude? This guy was the MVP in the first set here. He's way ahead in experience right now with kills, barriers, and everything. So, I mean, he is looking to get the next awakening for Juno, which I guess would be something like, oh, jeez, I don't know what it would be, actually.
Any dash range or 1-2 punch, anything that's either core speed or additional range on that dash would be helpful, but right now they're trying to navigate the night market bounces as Bells is causing a lot of trouble. The power play ends and they don't get a barrier off of it. Fudgy trying double barrier, will take 1, trying for 2, but now it goes back to Bells and now it gets a little scary.
Yep, Fudgy Waffles nicely grabbing that healing orb. Okay, so we got Gumi with the flip and actually gonna grab both barriers there in a pretty quick time. So we got Bells a little bit low right now. Gramella's going to try to grab the ball from Drew and does actually get it away from there. Okay, really great hit by Gumi there to keep it away from oh gosh, I'm dying right now. Okay, advantage. With Drew, we got Fudgy play. Okay, Drew gets it.
That was such a hard angle for Gumi too. Had to bounce it back to make sure Drew couldn't get to it, but Drew does anyway.
Yeah, I was like, oh, such a good hit. It's like around Drew, and then
Spark
they make
winning.
so many plays.
Oh,
okay,
but
so
this is awkward. This is a little awkward.
Yeah, I mean, certainly Fudgy's not going to take it.
Fudgy's not going to take
I guess
it. Yeah, the quick strike is very
there.
good. And even if leadership doesn't get denied.
Okay,
There's going for immediate power and the heavy impact, but that's a leadership and a spark of power for Drew. This is a lot of power, and most importantly, that extra power on Juno ticks over the core into red core speed, I believe, with the hot shot.
Okay, I'll believe you. I mean, that's, what is it? We got 40% of 44 or something like that. So, I mean, everyone's sitting here at 122, or Fudgy's got 122 power from that. So it's like, this is significant. 20 power is nothing. I mean, or not nothing. That's like exactly something you'd get from Prize Fighter. And okay, so Fudgy Waffle's a little bit low now, and as I say that, Bells does a great job of knocking them right off the map with that dash punch, and it's going to be a nice power play here for Crusaders. As they're going to try to get this second barrier there, Bells kind of just uses his dash punch. He doesn't really have it right now, so it's going to be a little harder to get the barrier. Power play is over. Blast Off is coming back with a vengeance. Fresh is going to actually pull that nicely away from the fray. And they actually end up doing a whole lot of damage to Bells there. Really great evade. I'm actually surprised he was able to get that in time. And Gumi doesn't get the perfect strike and actually kind of own barriers there. And now it's going to be... Bells is going to die. It's going to be a power play here for Blast Off once again. Can we get a Fudgy play right now? Oh, Gramella's actually going to waste a whole lot of time for Blast Off. Gumi's going to have a flip here. Okay, again, a great primary to save the flip. And no one wants to hit it. Tough spot. The lightning hits it backwards. Drew at nothing. Yeah, great recognition from Gumi, noticing he does not actually have to use that flip right here. And I feel like Crusaders is kind of on one right now. I kind of like how they're playing in this point, even though they had the power play against them.
Oh, but Drew doesn't quite get the strike here. Now it's scary for Frightfully Fresh. Got to make the defense against Bells. Wins the strike war, spins it around, dies for it. But they can still win this point. A strike war won by Fudgy Waffles. Won again by Fudgy Waffles. Continuing to keep this point alive. A crazy bounce around the world. 3 seconds left, but they can't hold all the way.
Oh, man. This dude is on one, man. Fudgy is kind of going in right now. And, man, I unfortunately do have to bring up that Drew did not strike that red ball open goal center stage. I mean, that is, you could not give your forward a better spot.
Yeah, a little unfortunate, but you could argue the core was going a little too fast, right? Drew having to react to that. The spark of leadership going to full effect. Even on Frightfully Fresh's strikes in overtime, I believe that Fresh just hits the core red core because he has pauldrons and the additional power. But right now, Drew's taken out from across the map. Doesn't matter. Fudgy Waffles burning the flip, creating an opportunity for another scoring outplay. Will it happen? Fresh is holding for so long. We'll lose one barrier, but that's only one barrier. And the slime speed. That's the power of spark of leadership.
That is the power. I mean, man, you combine hot shots already like a big problem. But you combine a whole bunch of extra power with that, and then you have a good shot there from Fudgy, and it's going to be flip or nothing for Gumi. Decides he's not going to do it. He's not going to flip, and wow, Drew flies on in there with the primary. That's going to grab their first barrier as all of the Slimes are going to hit that ball forward, and now we have Bells. Okay, it's a really good clear from Frightfully Fresh there to not let Bells get any dash punch angles. And now we have Gumi flying on in there. We have a whole lot of flip for the Crusaders here. Let's see what Blastoff can do to mitigate that. And I really like keeping the speed there from Gumi's ultimate. Gonna be the last barrier here for... Okay, wow, they actually decide to just, like, evaporate Fudgy Waffles, which is fair. I think Fudgy Waffles kind of going in right now.
Yeah, and Bells is there in time. Grumel with a great trajectory as well as Fresh sends it around the world. Gumi doesn't waste the flip this time, sends it on forward. But Fudgy Waffles is there, sending the core at such a high speed. Bells now one chance, but Frightfully Fresh with the save and doesn't die in the process. Oh, barely getting the core out. And Bells now no cooldowns for a moment. We'll have them soon. Drew trying to get in there with the special deflected by Gumi. Drew not there in time as the core finds its way around the world yet again, but it's overtime. Such a scary moment, but a great shot by Gumi to the top side will score the goal.
That was like wild foresight from Gumi there to have the secondary, because he caught a red ball there with the secondary, so that was like mega clutch. That was just good. That was just good play. I don't know what to say.
Gumi in a tough spot will primary the core away somehow. Gramella now sending the core forwards, has meter available, will be trying to get 2 barriers here. Frightfully Fresh own barriers, but gets the core out. Regardless, you'll take that when you're against a team like the Christmas Crusaders, but still, it is Fudgy Waffles' core speed so overwhelming. Drew as well continuing to push forwards, now finally dead, but Fudgy has meter to stall with.
Yeah, it's funny, they are really enjoying dumping a lot of damage here on Drew, but it's you could say that Fudgy is kind of causing a lot of extra problems there. I mean, all the Slimes causing red ball hits is really just it's been overwhelming. I'll just say it. It's been a little overwhelming here for the Crusaders as they lost a ton of barriers and goals and positioning from that. And now they're going to have to fight this power play back here, and they really don't get anything off of it because Drew is just the Iron Man holding that against Gumi and Gramella. Okay, Fresh with a really great clear there. Gumi once again has flip. He's going to have to send it there because the Slime was just in good position there. And man, the flip from Gumi kind of just goes around the world and grabs his own barrier. Fresh, again, blocking perfectly. Gumi loading up the ultimate's not going to do too much here. Fudgy, again, being a pretty great midfielder, is coming to the Fresh's perfect aid. Bell's going to have to try to fight this by himself. Okay, he's got the defense here of all 3 teammates. Okay, so Gumi's going to leave. Gramella's going to have to take the top lane. And again, yeah, look, it's like the Slimes are just single-handedly like winning by themselves when it's like a 1v1.
Oh, it's so much core speed too. They have to deal with that, and they have to deal with Drew as well, who is still staying alive here. Fudgy trying to get into the top corner. The Slimes covering the bottom. Finally gone as Gumi sends it around the world yet again, but Fresh gets control. Fudgy Waffle sends it up. The Slime sends it forward. It's such a crazy situation as Gumi and Bells need to find a way to break this deadlock, but they can't. The core speed keeps it on their side.
Yeah, and we have Fresh. Fresh still has a barrier. I mean, they still have to win, get a really good win, grab that barrier, and then they have to get advantage again to get this goal. And Fresh not only has a barrier, but he has a flip as well. And man, they're gonna find a kill on Bells. Drew, he's just got the angle. Gumi just, I don't know, didn't react quick enough. It stopped the core. I mean, he had a good angle there with the ultimate to get a goal. And wow, the defense from Blastoff was too much there. It's gonna be on match point.
And keep in mind, that draft was basically a lose-lose for the Christmas Crusaders, because even if they denied the spark of leadership, Drew would have gotten heavy impact, and that awakening so good on the Zentaro. So they were stuck between a rock and a hard place in this draft. They chose to deal with the leadership, and now they have to suffer the core speed instead of Drew taking over with all of the damage and cooldowns. But right now, Drew is still getting in there despite that.
Yeah, I mean, and exactly like you said, and that's just what happens when you win a set. You win a set, you get advantage, and sometimes it's really good advantage. So, these things just happen sometimes, but we're going to have... I mean, Christmas Crusaders are going to have to fight their way back. We have Blastoff on literal set point, and, I mean, Crusaders haven't even taken a set yet. So, a lot to fight back, a lot of awakenings to be seen. But, man, the score speed's going to grab the last barrier there, and they're going to find a kill on Gumi.
And that's it.
Drew ends up just getting it in there. It actually got, like, it got hit onto that little little thing in the middle there, which is kind of like catastrophe for whoever's on the goal side there, and Drew's gonna just knock it in. That's gonna be a blast-off win against the Christmas Crusaders.
Big win. They're sitting in winners finals right now, and they're gonna face the winner of the next match that's coming up. That's a Final Destination versus Bun Bun Bonanza game. So many good teams still in the losers bracket. It's gonna be a nightmare.
Yeah, I mean, again, I mean, Gramella, Bells, Gumi. I mean, this is a good team, and they're gonna go into losers bracket feeling like, I mean, they're a good team, but man, losers bracket is full of them. I mean, I'm like looking at the bracket here now, and I see that, you know, everyone's kind of got the name for their team right now. Final Destination is Killiest, Fiery, and Luke. I mean, the hitters, they just keep hitting. So it's like no one is safe in this bracket. I mean, the winner's side has already been like a tough run for those who have taken for their victory here, but now, man, lots going on here in losers bracket. Oh, so we had Doggo.Dog actually beat Magical Meeps. That's great. But boy, are they fighting. Are they fighting the good fight, my man?
They have a long road ahead of them, and with many difficult opponents.
Absolutely, indeed. And there's just a lot of sets left to be played. We just have lots of sets left to be played. Back set going on. We got this set coming up just in a second here. And so, yeah, like last week, we had Bozo Bunch winning. Upset this week. It looks like they defeated Sarah Style in losers. They're currently playing against Brain Differential. That's something.
Yeah, and if they win that, the Bozo Bunch, they do win, and they're facing Wanna Go to Olive Garden Saya, which is a team name of all time. But this team has made a few upsets. If you check in the winners bracket, they beat the Sauna Strikers, and that's a really good team. The Sauna Strikers, made up of Threezy Breezy, Merchant, and Joker, if you recall.
Yeah.
And apparently they almost beat the Christmas Crusaders as well.
All right.
The Bozo Bunch are not safe.
That's fair. I mean, this is like, I like brackets like this, because it's like, you know, the Nassau teams could have literally just been the Nassau teams, right? But we love to mix it up here, because we got, you know, the top 10 and more, all kind of just like mixing it up here. You know, they're doing like a little, everyone's teaming with everyone. So this is like I mean, that's how you get like a bracket that looks like this. You just have like, you know, y'all on one team, and Gumi on the other team, Kainub on the other team, and it's just like, and then you got Doggo.Dog there thinking like, dude, how is every team going ballistic right now? So I like when this happens. It just makes it more competitive. You know, I don't know who's gonna win. That's the cool thing. I don't know who's going to win. I don't know what combination of top 15, 20 players, you know, is actually going to take this. Hey, maybe we have an upset even beyond that. But now we got we got some winners semis going on here right now. Bun Bun Bonanza, Final Destination. It's going to be an uphill battle here for Final Destination, though, as we have already seen Bun Bun Bonanza winning the last set, of course, and just kind of being a good, synergistic, loving team. The Buns.
Yeah. It's interesting, right? This team on paper is a little bit strange to think about. Luke firing Killius. Luke is a solo queue demon, number 3 on the ladder right now, I believe, but hasn't really found as much success as the other players on this screen in organized play. Killiest has found a lot of success, but right now on Party Rockers 2, I believe, and they're also chasing the top spots in NASA. Fiery, haven't seen him nearly as much nowadays, but he, again, like, this is another matchup where you would favor Bun Bun Bonanza, but Final Destination, they could make it happen.
They could. I mean, I've seen, like, I play solo queue as well. I see Luke all the damn time. And, I mean, this guy even streams sometimes. So, I mean, Luke has just been... Why? It's funny, because he's a solo queue demon, so he's, like, pretty good at solo queue, right? But technically, his matchup right now is not solo queue, you know, local matchup. It's actually... This is organized crime right now. So, it's a little funny to say that, but... Yeah, we have seen Fiery a little bit around. I know this dude's mad good. Yeah, it seems like he took a little break of some sort. And I know very little of Kiliast. I'm not gonna lie. You said that they're party rockers right now for NASA.
Yeah, used to be a member of Goats Esports in Nassau last season. Goats
Okay.
got 7th, barely missed out on playoffs, mostly due to Orbit's DQing, unfortunately. But yeah,
it's like a tiebreaker.
Yeah, like it was a tiebreaker thing. Orbit's DQ'd, which made it so that Goats were out without being able to play for their destiny. It was unfortunate, but Kiliast, a good player, was goalie, now playing a lot of midfield and brawler, so a bit of a role swap, just like Scyther12, another former goalie.
Okay, all right. Love to see that. Yeah, I know Luke's definitely like goalie bound, honestly, and Fiery always seems to be playing forward brawler area, so I'll assume that Kiliast will try to be playing the midfielder in whatever, unless we have some sort of like Era X Julie, some kind of crazy nut stuff going on. But yeah, I think this will be competitive. I mean, no team is unbeatable. We've seen teams like this beat teams like that, and then just left and right. So I don't know. I'm happy to commentate. I'm happy to watch some good stuff. I don't know. Shoot, that's why we're here, bro.
Yeah. We'll have to see. I'm just gonna take a look at all of the teams that have entered for a sec as we get into game, because this tournament there are so many teams. The pool is so deep, and these two teams. Is a good week. Yeah, it's good. It's a good week.
All right, I cannot see the starting perks. What do we got?
Recovery drone and stagger swagger.
Okay, big. It's funny like they kind of, with this new patch, there really is not a lot of defense in the perk line these days. But I mean, these are some of them. Stagger swagger has stayed in, one of the better defensive perks. Drone is like kind of like a halfway defensive perk, but really 30% size is kind of the thing. Unstoppable is a new defensive perk, but it's they don't have any more like stagger. There's we have just Spark of Resilience as actual health now, and that's it. So you have to the dynamic has changed. You don't just get health and you're good. And now we can see all the characters here. Luke on classic Amy. This seems very normal to me. Luke on Amy, Fiery here. Kiliast midfield as I thought. Okay, perfect. Scyther's gonna be the one on Juliet though.
Yeah. Both
all stagger swagger picks, by the way. Look at that. Awesome. No one takes drone and no Rasmus. Actually, I didn't see if they banned Rasmus. I might have brainworms right now, but that's okay because we're starting here really hard here as Bun Bonanza takes both barriers right off the bat. Ooh, really like that back pass, but not perfectly ready there as Fiery's going to take huge advantage of here, grabbing a barrier of themselves. Luke's going to fly on in there, see if they can keep possession in the top lane there. Good clear from Lilybun, and Scyther's now going to have it in his hands. Almost gets a dash punch in there. That barrier is in threat. Yep, it's going to grab that barrier. Fiery going to keep possession as well. And now we're going to have maybe the Black Hole play a role right now as Kiliast is going to try to force it in past Lilybun. Okay, they actually break the Black Hole there. That's actually fair. That's a fair play. Lilybun getting in there, staying almost midfield right now. That's a lot of pressure. Okay, just fast enough with Stagger trying to get the ball, and Scyther's going to have a great sideways dash punch to send Fiery off the map. Advantage here.
Oh, and Scyther getting the core ahead as Luke has to make the clears. Liari trying to set up something, but the core just travels around up to the top side. Lilybun doesn't flip, and a great play by Fiery to get in there for the first goal.
Yo, Lilybun completely fearless right now. Actually just purposely going to midfield to hand the ball back to Scyther, but wow, that just fearless. I don't know, just kind of going a little crazy there, but it is going to get right past her, and it's going to cause the point. And they're going to... Oh, wow. Okay, so now we're going to playing the wall here. Scyther notices that and is actually going to grab a dash punch there to slay Kiliast. And now they can have a really great power play here. Lilybun does have the flip as they had before, and they're going to really force it on in there. But the defense for Luke actually going to keep it up. The flip's coming out here, and whoa, really great, edge side shot there. Those are kind of surprisingly hard to defend. Good shot.
Yep, and That's the Bun Bun Bonanza. We know a little more. They're trying to make the plays happen at a more rapid rate, but watch out because Final Destination is in there. Fiery looking absolutely massive with his Zentaro special. One barrier taken with meter 4-2 against Lilybun. Waits out the log, but a great strike war by Lilybun. Barely scoops the core out in time.
Yeah, nice that Dubu himself, just base kit, is just good at dealing with flip. In fact, very good at dealing with flip considering the ultimate as well. And man, Lilybun just had the wrong read there. Just thought the ball was going to stay a little top side and give some pressure there with the ultimate, but man, it just goes right down and right forward. So, I mean, good call from Kilius. I believe Kilius got the pass down there, so that was really great. Ultimate coming out here, and we can see that. Also, I just want to mention that Luke is starting off almost every kickoff with like what is it, cyber swipe attacking into glitch pop, just doing damage. And Luke always does damage. I think they're really going to try to go for kills here, expecting Fiery to get some more damage on. But they're going to lose a barrier there, as I talked about it here. Bun Bun Bonanza is going to have to try to force into this barrier here with Scyther and Liari on the top side. Lilybun again being really far up there, but perhaps a controlled threat here. As they're going to do a nice back pass again. I love the back pass here. We have a... I mean, this team has been back passing since the beginning in Nassel, so I expect to see it. Liari actually sniping like 3 people and the ball there with that primary. That's going to be great. Oh, that was the most direct pass to Scyther through the... It was like through the battlefield. That was really great.
But Scyther with possession, trying to find a dribble, but it goes to Luke. And now it gets a little bit tricky in overtime as the core speeds up. Lilybun will want to push up with a barrier to play with. Liari trying to get the goal here, but cleared away by Kilius. It feels like there's 2 goalies in the net because Kilius, no slouch on the defensive end. As it gets away from Scyther just in time, the flip burned. Can they get out of this? Final Destination trying, but a great crossover by Scyther. They didn't expect that at all.
That was a dumb good shot from Scyther there. It looks like... I can't be the one to say everything, but Kilius feels like they're playing a little too close to the goalie. I'm not sure exactly the strategy there, but it just feels like they're playing a little too close. Maybe suffocating Luke a little bit. They could probably help Fiery just a little bit more on the offense, but, you know, we'll see if that gets any adjustments in perhaps the next set, as we're going to have Luke get a flip there. And oh, it's going to strike both barriers there from Bun Bun Bonanza, and now we're going to have Final Destination here with a little bit of advantage there. Actually, if they win this, they win the set. This could be a big awakening draft as well.
They need to get this flip out, but it's burned. Lilybun dribbles it around Fiery. Fiery, though, trying to get in there, but all 3 members of Bun Bun Bonanza pretty decent at the goalie position. All 3 have been goalies once upon a time, at least for a tiny bit, as they managed to get it out. But there's still a barrier standing on the side of Final Destination. They need to make something happen quick because Fiery is here with a vengeance, and the crossfire barrage from Kilius secures it. First set going on over to Final Destination.
Yeah, it just looked like, man, Bun Bun Bonanza just could not mount a correct offense there. Like, Scyther just felt like he had to stay back and, like, I don't know, cover top, or, you know, he just couldn't pass midfield, it felt like. Final Destination had too much pressure, and now we're going to have Zentaro get basically Super Surge, and that is a huge grab for Final Destination there. We're going to have Lilybun try to go for the Spark scaling. Amy Classic, extra special there. Okay, again, Classic Estelle getting prime time. A slight interesting pick here from Kilius. Looks like mostly a deny from the Juliet, and 2-1 happy with Twin Drive, I'd say, for Scyther. So I think solid drafting. Definitely advantage for Final Destination getting Super Surge Zen pretty much. So we'll see how much that affects this game, because if they had lost the first set, or if Bun Bun Bonanza has lost the first set, this isn't going to make it any easier for them.
Yeah, and the highlight is definitely that explosive entrance on Fiery, on Zentaro, the Dash Awakening plus the additional impacts. But Scyther 12 is doing damage, continuing to put down the pressure, but Luke from the other side is the one who takes the barrier down. And again, Final Destination making it happen.
I think they're just playing a really good mix of defense and offense here. It's like when they have their offense, it's so strong that Scyther feels like too pressured to walk up, that he'd maybe be like abandoning post here right now. So that just kind of makes it so that the barrier's never threatened. And it's just, you hope for something like a flip, and man, they're going to do just enough damage there to Scyther and actually get him out of there with this power play. Luke not quick enough just to get back there, and we're going to have a flip. Okay, it's going to be a miss, unfortunately. Ari might have been able to grab that, but the power play for Final Destination is over now, as Kilius is going to have to use this flip pretty aggressively here. Okay, it's a little... Okay, it's actually really great for Final Destination to have Lilybun spend the flip there, just thinking of the threat. And now we're going to have... Okay, Scyther almost grabs a kill on Kilius. And man, Liari's going to have a really good shot right through the center there, backing it up with the primary.
Great shot, and that's what Bumble Bonanza needs. They need these early points because a lot of the time in overtime, it's usually Fiery or Luke finding a snipe, Kilius finding the follow-up, and losing both barriers now is a disaster. A flip to KO, and a goal for Fiery. 7-second goal just like 2 games ago. They make it happen.
Yeah, really good pressure there. I mean, the Amy ultimate actually just forcing it into both of the barriers there, and then I mean the recognition from Fiery to just blast Lilybun into the goal. I mean that was pristine. They're gonna lose their first barrier though, unfortunately here. And I just want to mention one other thing is that if Bun Bonanza do happen to win this set, we did see that Lilybun took Spark of Focus, so there is a threat of Spark scaling at least for them there, while Zen has Explosive Entrance. There's not too much more like huge things left in the pool for these characters, I'd say specifically.
Fiery now heading inwards. Luke as well. One barrier does go down as Bumble Bonanza are chasing their second, but Lilybun pushing up. This is the type of aggressive Dubu you want to play, but so far, I think Final Destination has been pretty good at punishing it, so she will have to be a little bit more careful. Fiery now rushing forward, still doesn't get to Scyther in time. Scyther just can't get control of the core. It's being intercepted over and over. Finally, the barrier goes down and the flip's available, but can they score?
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, it's kind of going to be Liari's job to force feed this ball right to Scyther, who has flip, which is a huge threat there. And whoa, it's just going to be Kilius with the 1-2 punch overtime, actually going to red ball that just right into the goal past Lilybun. I mean, it's tough to fight the red ball in overtime. So, wow, great shot from Kilius there, actually.
Yeah, and that's what I was talking about, right? The red core in overtime, the overtime for Final Destination in general being so scary if they can trade these barriers, if they can stall out the game. But this time it is Bumble Bonanza who take the barriers quite efficiently. They get Scyther 12 in the center of the net to the top side. So efficient in getting the goal there.
Yeah, that was great. I actually didn't even think Luke was in range to get hit for Scyther's primary there, but I mean, good recognition from Scyther. Actually was in range. So we're going to see if Bun Bonanza can grab this set, and wow, they instantly find a kill on Fiery there. So it's going to be, I mean, huge advantage. Lilybun even has flip. Probably going to play a little bit forward here to try to get it past them here. Set up a good flip. Liari going to play defense a little bit. Just actually paved the way. And not only paved the way, which would have been like really good to get the score, but it gets the kill. It's just like there was not a better moment.
And Lilybun's first pick. If this is Spark of Leadership, oh, it's not, but there are still sparks available. The Spark scaling will come through. But if this was Leadership, the game was basically over.
It would have been definitely really rough for Final Destination, but like as we can see, Lilybun really playing up, really likes to be aggressive. So this Spark of Agility adding 14 or 13% speed or whatever the heck it is actually going to be nothing but a strict benefit for Lilybun to just play as more aggressively. And a couple of pretty normal perks go on to the side of each team there. I guess Timeless Amy is something to be like, oh, Timeless Amy. Although we do have Hot Shot on Kilius, so those like Giga Blasts are going to be truly Giga terrifying every time we see it show up.
Yeah, it's going to be very scary because Kilius having that hot shot, as well as Luke, as you mentioned, the Timeless on Amy, combined with the extra special as well. The turret uptime will be pretty good, as Fiery with the crossfire getting the barrier, finding a way to try and chase for the goal. I think the scoring capabilities of Final Destination have improved so much that Bumble Bonanza, they're going to have to watch out a lot.
Yeah, I agree. It feels like... Oh, okay, so as I talk about that side, it's a really great dash punch, and whoa, nice! Actually gets it before the barriers even, or the doors even open fully, and those are the kinds of shots that you're just like, Okay, so they flipped. Okay, they're going to wait for the door. But, man, if you can get it in between those two doors opening, that is kind of a shocker. It's really surprising to see. So it's just going to be a good-ass shot there. Oh, my gosh. So Bun Bun Bananas are taking all of their health now, and they're just in threat. But they do actually take the first barrier. They keep the pressure up and all end up regenerating. So there's some sort of missing link here for the Final Destination team. They don't really have the damage to actually, like, take advantage of Bun Bun Bonanza just being super low. In fact, they have advantage even during that. So let's see if Lilybun can actually defend here, and does against basically every cooldown that Fiery has. Liari's now going to have to be 1v1 or 2v1 there, in fact. It's not going to lose the barrier. It's not a huge deal. The primary is actually going to get it out of there, and we're going to have Killiest feeding Fiery the ball as much as they can, and now, yeah. Oh my god, the Zentaro doing damage to everyone, almost killing all 3 people, getting the flip, getting the score. I mean, Killiest feeding Fiery. It's a team effort. Really great work.
Yeah, and right there, Scyther 12 almost has a defense too, right? With the Flame Flurry in front of the flipped core, but it wasn't quite enough against Fiery Zentaro. As Scyther goes for a KO, not quite finding it that time, but Lilybun on the offense with that additional speed is playing so far up. Bun Bun Bonanza need to use this as a win condition. Scyther trying to keep the core in the corner, but it gets past the dash punch. Killiest with a great strike war there.
Yeah, I feel the strategy of Bun Bun Bonanza is kind of like, they really want Scyther to kind of just stand near the barrier as much as he can. I mean, it is Julie, like what else could you do? But I think Final Destination is putting up enough pressure to where Scyther doesn't feel like they can just stand in front of the barrier. But as I say that, gets a really great kill on Killiest, and now they have a power play here. Gonna keep that barrier there. Easy defense for Lilybun there. Luke's gonna try to make a play, kind of uses cooldowns on it, but now we have the power play over. Scyther goes in for a dash punch to just perhaps live, deal some damage, get the core in, but Liari's gonna snipe both of them and the core. This team is just full of hitters. Like, everyone is just so good.
They're in the North American Strikers League for a reason. They're in prime position for playoff contention as well, I believe, as the final 2 weeks of the season. One of them is tomorrow, so you'll see them try to lock in that playoff spot as Scyther with the dribbles, with the play in the bottom side, Lilybun pushing in, and if Lilybun becomes first pick, gets a goal here, that's huge. Oh. Liari takes it herself to the top side.
That was so, I mean, man, we had Liari and Scyther just kind of like holding the ball themselves as Fiery was just, you know, preoccupied with killing Lilybun, who succeeds in killing her, but man, it just, you know, you gotta focus on the ball sometimes. It's like, I know it's silly to say you can get your kill, but I mean, the ball is the only thing that matters. And now we have Estelle. The first pick here. Quick strikes. Okay, fair.
Yeah, and
that's gonna be 2 sparks though for Fiery.
Yeah, 2 sparks contesting that spark of leadership if it comes up, because there's only 1 draft left potentially if the side of Final Destination manages to get a victory here, and with 2 sparks, Fiery's looking in prime position to make that happen. But with that team player on Lilybun, that immediate power in terms of scoring, as well as the size on Scyther, I think Bun Bun Bonanza are in a very good spot to just win this game outright.
I could say so. I think team player is insane. I know that there's a lot of people that actually just kind of will prioritize the, you know, the basic awakenings on their character, but I think there's something special about team player.
Scyther,
man, I don't even get to finish.
That guy, I guess that guy hates team player. His team wasn't present. He was solo carrying. Didn't even get it to Lilybun a single time.
Literally too good. It stops me from talking about team player. My bad, everybody. This guy's too good. But the ultimate here, I mean, as we can see, the timeless Amy is going to cause a whole bunch of problems. But, I mean, Bun Bun Bonanza deals with it relatively easily as 1 barrier goes down for each team here. And so now we have Killiest. We're going to have to try to give Fiery the ball here. Luke's got flip, so not too much threat here for this barrier, but Scyther also has flip. Gonna have to try to get in position for Liari, and now we're gonna have the ultimate from Zen. It's gonna be enough to get the ball. Lilybun has no cooldowns. Oh, Fiery just misses the goal, and man, great defense from Lilybun to get it on out of there. And they have the, I was just gonna say the black hole might be a hindrance here, but we're gonna have to have Scyther slowly, you know, as when it's like this, the forward has to like inch their way back into like position so they can, you know, dash punch or use their flip here. But, oh, tough position there. Man, they actually just blow Scyther out of there. And now it's going to be a power play for Final Destination. Lilybun does have flip. Doesn't really want to use it defensively, though, because that's usually the worst. Okay, really great defense from Liari. Okay, I mean, the power play's over. We got overtime. Team player now in super effect, so it's going to help them get this barrier if they lose any possession here.
Lilybun, though, with the flip burned. That's a scary situation for Bum Bum Bonanza in this open net, and a great redirect by Fiery will seal the goal. It's 1-1, and a looming spark of leadership over the heads of Bum Bum Bonanza as Final Destination are in a good spot if they manage to win here.
Yeah, and as we had mentioned slightly before, how Timeless was, you know, Monumentalist we have at home, 1-2 Punch is kind of like Team Player that we have at home. And it also helps kill people. So, as long as you get the red core, either way, it's just a super helpful perk. And now we're going to have one barrier. Okay, both barriers going to go down. Bun Bun Bonanza in advantage here. I mean, now they're working on the set. They're working on the match point, really. They just need 2 more points, and now they're... Okay, Liari goes for the Omega Forbidden hit there. Doesn't quite find it, though. The Black Hole's going to send it down now. And so now we have Scyther still has Flip. Doesn't find a good time to use it there. Now could be the time, and goes kind of crazy, but really Luke on a good defense with their own Flip. Lilybun gonna have to send it up to Liari. Okay, Luke's gonna try to defend with the cooldowns that they have, and now they're out of cooldowns.
They're trying to get to Scyther, but they just can't. Scyther's in the middle of everybody. They're blocking all of the passing lanes. They have him surrounded in a triangle.
I think that might be the play. Like, that seems to be working out pretty well, is everyone just stand on Scyther. It's actually doing quite well, and overtime active once again, so team players going to be sending the ball as fast as possible. But, oh, they just can't find a score here as both goalies are just doing a really great job defending, and Scyther's going to push it right through Kilius. I mean, Dash and Punch, both red bowling the core as well, so it's like, yeah, this is going to be match point for Bun Bun Bonanza. Final Destination's going to have to find something to do here.
That single dribble into dash punch through the midfielder. Crazy from Scyther as Liari earns a barrier, tries to get to the other side. Luke saves it for now, and Scyther desperately trying to stay alive on the other side. Manages to stave Fiery away for a little bit, just enough to regen all the way back. Again, a stagger swagger start. This game sure hasn't felt like it that much, but it has definitely helped Scyther here.
Yeah, and now we have a tough, really tough turret. It's going to almost guaranteed get that barrier. Just a really tough spot there with no flip. And now we're going to have Luke with no flip here. Team player going to hopefully make this really just a fast play for Bun Bun Bonanza to get that ball right to Scyther. But I think, I'll admit, from this new patch, team player feels like it's worked, or it doesn't work. It works the worst it's ever worked. Or I don't know how to put this.
Yeah, they definitely made it much less lenient in the past. You could hit it towards the general direction of the other side. Scyther trying to end it all here, trying to make a goal happen as Luke is forced to defend. Fiery gets the core, but cannot get the barrier. Wants to save this flip for the goal. Doesn't want to spend it on the single barrier, on the 2-barrier map. Does get it. Does get the flip in front of the net, but the log from Lilybun will save it for now. Liari now trying to get to the other side of the map. Scyther has to run all the way. Fiery to the bottom, Fiery to the top, but Lilybun reads it, is there. Now Scyther is in position along with Liari to the bottom side. Flip burned. Fiery now with the scoring opportunity. Can they make anything happen here? But Lilybun is still maintaining the defense as Luke burns a lot of cooldowns. Liari to Scyther trying to find a pass. Lilybun has the strikes, has the flip, as insurance, but not quite yet.
Oh, I love the back pass there into the 1-2 punch. It's so important to get this red ball into the core, and it actually does end up getting it past Lilybun, who seemed to have belly flopped or body slammed, I don't actually remember the name of the secondary, onto the core, but Centara's primary active just a little bit longer than it stuns the core for, and man, Final Destination's really got the pressure on as they have to win this set to stay in winner's side, and we already know who's in loser's side. Everyone, every name, every good player that you could actually even name right now.
They're trying to make it happen here, Liari and Lilybun. Scyther 12 to the top side, but Kilius making the saves. Lilybun pushing up so far forward, but even the crossfire from Scyther 12 is not enough. The barriers still stay up. It's looking good for Final Destination as the Aimi turret lasts for so long. They get the barrier. Fiery working on a flip. Almost 3 flips on the side of Final Destination. Bum Bum Bonanza's gonna have to be really careful here. Lilybun manages to get the save. Great shot from Liari. 2 barriers taken. This could be everything. Scyther 1 hit away from flip, maybe 2. As Fiery pushes up on the top side. Luke from the other side of the map will secure the set, but his Fiery first pick is the question.
That is a good question. Okay, so it's gonna be Luke. I didn't actually pay enough attention, but Luke has aerials, so that is like a big trigger in the mind of Bun Bun Bonanza, or hopefully it was, because now we can have a jump across the map. And so we're gonna have a Spark of Leadership deny, which is completely fair, as Lilybun is loading up Spark of Agility and Focus here. And now we're gonna have to go for a deny for themselves, not trying to let the midfielder get the fight or flight. Again, a deny from... It's just a deny, deny fest. No one's letting anyone have fun, which is fair. Because these guys, I think, honestly, Kilius is the only one who got a perk that they were happy with.
Yeah, like all of these awakenings, not bad, right, on each of their respective characters, but picked right before someone would have absolutely dominated the game with them. As Scyther going for the KO, but Fiery stays alive, and that prize fighter on Scyther is the X factor for this final set. If Scyther can find a KO before getting KO'd, it could snowball the game out of control, but while that's happening, Liari is soloing the barrier. Scyther's in position with the great dribble, interrupted by Kilius for a moment, sending the core forward, managing to get a barrier on the other side as Scyther is low. Erasing this prize fighter stack would be huge. The orb denied by Luke, but this is Stagger Swagger we're talking about. But Kilius with the barrage, getting the KO. Liari pushing up, but the striker advantage is saved away by Lilybun.
Yeah, and no one in this game seems to actually have pummelers, so it's not like too horrifying to be in these power plays. But as you said, yeah, the prize fighter stack is gone, so now it's just slightly less to worry about. But man, Scyther going for the super kill there to try to knock that flip off Kilius as well. And now lots of energy here on Final Destination. We have overtime again. Team player is going to be a big threat to deal with. One flip down. And now Fiery has advantage, dribbling to themselves, going to hands in the Scyther. Okay, yeah, to avoid it getting to Scyther, we're going to have to flip there as well. Scyther even no health, but still a huge threat, and they do actually end up defending it away. We're going to have a team player, no, not even active, because the game, it's just the game. They are going to have to play a midfielder here to defend against this. Whoa, that was just the one needle. That was the thread. That was the threaded needle right there. There was hitboxes everywhere. There was people everywhere. That was just a good shot.
And they're working on quite a bit of an upset if they're able to take down Bun Bun Bonanza. This team definitely could do it still. Luke has been looking so good.
Nice.
And Scyther, though, trying to make me eat my words immediately. They do get a barrier on the other side. Fiery makes it happen. But Scyther's hunting with this flip, trying to find something. Maybe a KO, maybe a barrier, maybe a goal, but it goes around the barrier.
Oh, nice. Yeah, it's going to be a good primary there from Fiery, actually. Recognizing that, Fiery actually does have a ton of power right now. 2 sparks. He's got the entrance, so he's kind of just strong. Makes sense that he got the kill there. And now we're going to have... The power play is over. Scyther kind of low, but does have flip. Going to look for another big play there. Luke's going to try to get it away so he doesn't have to deal with flip. And they actually find a kill. It was Achilles' Giga Blast, I think. So really important to get the flip and kill on Scyther there. Now we're going to have the turret just sitting there for a while. Lilybun does have flip to defend, but they're not going to use it on the barrier here. And so Fiery's going to kind of get in there. Once again, we have overtime. The red balls are coming out. It's going to be Liari trying to... Oh, wow, really great angle from that primary to actually snipe that. And really, again, with the prime time, actually putting up a ton of pressure. They're going to have to find a way to get it out of here. And they do clear it. And now the pressure's onto Lilybun and doesn't recognize that now the ball is actually in the trajectory of going directly into the goal from that ultimate. Lilybun holds onto the flip, and it's now going to be match point for Final Destination.
Yeah, unfortunately, the core moving a little too fast, and Fiery working on a flip, getting it now. The barrier is looking not long for this world as Fiery keeps the core up. Luke and Kilius warding them away. Great Giga Blast from Kilius. Takes a barrier on the other side, and Liari's going to need to find something with this flip. Find some magic to Scyther, but it goes around again. No barriers found for Bun Bun Bonanza, and Fiery is here with a vengeance, with a passive strike, with a flip, trying to make something happen here, forcing the flip out of Lilybun. And one barrier will be taken on the other side with that flip, but it's still a long road ahead for Bun Bun Bonanza. They need to get this barrier fast.
Absolutely, and I like that Lily did not take any risks there. Did not try to greed that flip. Definitely make the defense happen there. And so now we're going to have, once again, all right, good ultimate there. Going to mitigate pretty much all the pressure there as Liari tries to get some strike wars in there with Fiery to get it out of there. The turret's going to come out and do basically nothing. Not the great positioning that they were looking for there. Kilius has flip, could possibly feed Fiery something quick. And so, okay, actually going to grab such a good recognition to get a straight shot there onto the barrier in sight. They're going to try their best to get a kill or try to punch the core through. And again, this is match point here for Final Destination there, and they still have a barrier up. Luke, the iron wall of defense there. Here comes the flip, and now the turret and Kilius' barrage are going to defend it away perfectly. Lilybun under a ton of pressure now. The ultimates are coming out. And now we're going to have to try to get Scyther into some position. Doesn't get it. Now, Punch is going to be down for 12 seconds. And, Fiery's actually just going to get the score. Dang. That is the upset. That is the successful upset.
Successful upset, and that means Fiery. Not Fiery. Fiery with a great goal at the end, but Kilius is on a crash course with Fudgy Waffles. Two players that used to be teammates and now have a bit of a rivalry going. Final Destination versus Blast Off in winners finals.
Yeah, man, and as we had mentioned a little bit earlier there, the losers bracket is catastrophic, actually. So minor updates here. We have, unfortunately, my boys, the Doggo.Dog, do end up falling to She Spec on my op until I forget what this is already. Let me see. She Spec on my op until hold on, I'm getting it. Here it comes. She Spec on my ops until I boss up 28. There we go. Alright, cool. Sauna Strikers defeating Striking Gamers, as we saw on stream a little bit earlier there. So now it's going to be She Spec on my op against Sauna Strikers. Bozo Bunch actually staying in, defeats Brain Differential, defeats Wanna Go to Olive Garden Scion. And so now they're here, going to be playing against Melon Bread, who had defeated GWGSAGAF. Alright, you get the picture. That's one of the teams.
GWDGSAGOSFACYFMYMF. You know, I give up.
Do you know what this stands for? Please say yeah.
No, I was not told.
Okay, that's fair.
I'm guessing it is a little too difficult when it's that long.
Let me think. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just not going to think, because that'd be insane. Anyway, really great set there. Wonderful upset from Final Destination. I feel like most people might have looked at this set and said, like, man, this is going to be really tough playing against this boss Nassel team. But, hey, I mean, they just played kind of good. What could you say? I mean, Luke was played such good defense there. I mean, Kilius also was playing, like, an interesting, like, real, like, look at this. Look, this is insane. This stat, I'm still in the end game screen here. So we have Luke with 60 saves. Kilius has 63 saves. Luke was the goalie, everybody. So it's like, Luke was playing a kind of a real mix of, like, get on in there, use that eject button, stay in. And Kilius was playing a lot of defense as well as feeding Fiery just enough. I mean, he's got 3 more saves than the goalie. I mean, that's insane. He's got the most redirects on his team. And, I mean, that's pretty incredible. And everything else on the Fun Bun Bonanza team appears to be pretty normal.
Yeah, I'm going to need you to give me lobby owner, though, because we're getting right into another one.
Oh, whoops. Okay, I can do that. I've never done this. How do I do that? Let's see.
You can, like, right-click or something.
Oh, here it is. Make owner. I'm a genius.
You could have kicked me.
But what fun is that? Can I have no one to commentate with?
As I will spend the first seconds of my term as lobby owner kicking Bun Bun Bonanza, unfortunately.
See ya. Bro, my arm hurts.
Final Destination, Blast Off. Two team names, 2 words.
Yeah, this is... Okay, so... Like I was saying a little earlier, we know who's in this bracket. I mean, we got, like, top 10, top 15, like, pretty much all of them. They're all, almost all here. And this winner's finals actually, I mean, has great names. Great, like, super good names. But it's not the names you thought you would see. It's not like, oh, this team against this team every week. You know what I mean? This is actually, like, these are pretty much double upsets. And I love to see it because now we have a winner's finals of champions here, where we have the underdogs playing each other, and one of these teams could actually be crowned victor of this whole weekly against some names that you you would say like, what? How could these people lose? So I mean, it's just like good teamwork. I don't know. It's just like good teamwork. I don't know.
Yeah, there's a lot of players that we have not even seen on stream today because they got upset and that you would usually see. But we're seeing these teams right now as. What are your predictions for this game? These two teams, I think, pretty well matched. I think I personally would favor Blastoff a tiny bit, but could go either way.
You know, it's funny. I actually also I like look at Blastoff and I don't know. I think it's because I've seen their names just a little bit more often. So like my mind is just like, oh yeah, we've seen these guys' names. It's probably they're like in a little advantage here because like you said, Luke is kind of not really in the tournaments. Plays a lot of solo queue. Fiery hasn't really been in it, you know, recently.
Seed 1 is down. It looks like the Sauna Strikers. Sorry to interrupt
no
you,
way.
but 3Z, Merchant, and Joker are taking it early. Have taken it over Snake, You Already Lose, and Kainoob.
That is, when you say those three names together, I'm like, yo, what are you talking about? This isn't Nassel. But wow, that is such a sick upset. Sauna Strikers, dang. They're going to be fighting Christmas Crusaders next. And, I mean, again, no joke, literally everybody left in losers. Even people who are already lost in losers.
Oh, wait, never
like,
mind. Okay, we're getting word. Apparently it's a DQ.
Oh. Okay.
Not as cool.
Well, it's true, not as cool, but that does not, negate the fact that they are still going to be playing Christmas Strikers or Crusaders. Tough match. Tough match for them. Tough match in every one of these losers bracket runs. Yeah, Bun Bun Bonanza, who had unfortunately lost there in winners semis, is going to be playing the winner of Bozo Bunch and Melon Bread after they finish their set. So, man, it's nothing but good teams. Actually, in this whole bracket. Not even left, just in this whole bracket. It was just tough teams, upsets everywhere. People just... I kind of hate when they DQ, honestly. But it's fine. Everyone DQs for whatever reason. It's all good.
Oh, okay. So, apparently Snake got a nasty bug where his game would just kick him out. And it happened twice, so...
Oh, that's...
So for reasons out of their control, they're having to DQ here, which kind of sucks.
Yeah, that does kind of stink. What the heck? I've never even heard of that. Odie, I know you're watching. Please. Aesop. I'm just saying names. I only know one name. Wait. Oh, man, what's that guy? There's a guy that, like, plays a lot of solo queue.
It starts with an X.
XDME?
There we go.
I'm a genius. Oh, yo, XDME, get on it, bro. Fuck X now. That dude probably just, like, does, like, the coloring for the banners or something. Yo, get on the bug fix, bro. Anyway, so these two teams, yeah, I think I think Luke, Fiery, and Killies are kind of like on fire after that win. That's like a really good win. So it's like I might be eating my words here, but I would give like a 60-40, maybe even like a 45-55. Give the 55 to like Blastoff here, just because I don't know. I feel like I've seen their names. Also, Fudgy went ballistic. Fudgy went like nutmeg. It's just so it's like. I don't know. I think they're gonna have to stop him from going insane. That might be the strat.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to see how Killius can match up against Fudgy Waffles, which is funny, right? Because they did do an ego check, and it is still inconclusive.
All right, inconclusive. And I feel like a lot of these players play not play one character, but like are known for one character. So it's like Drew's got Kazan. I feel like Fudgy kind of is like a Juno main as far as I know.
Wait a second. This is some very like if anyone in the chat is hearing that, they're like whoa, because Fudgy playing a lot of Juno is an incredibly recent thing. It is
okay. Yeah. I gotcha. I'm a noob, guys. Oh no. Oh my god, they all know I'm a noob. This is insane. I'm on stream. How many people are watching? This can't be good.
There's
anyway,
like 80 people watching.
Okay, nobody knows my name, guys. Oh god, guys. Anyway, look at that Fiery picking Zentaro. That's crazy. Let's look over here. So it's gonna be a Zentaro ditto. What's the awakenings here? I can't see them.
Castalast and Demolitionist.
Okay, Castellas.
Oh, and this is a little funny, right? Because although this is a Juno for Fudgy, it is Kilius picking the Era, the character that Fudgy used to be really known for.
Hold on, guys. I knew he'd pick Juno because he's a Juno main through and through. Tell me I'm wrong. You can't. I win. I win.
Yeah.
All right. Getting on into it there, it looks like Atlas Lab is the pick, which is... I love Atlas. I feel like this might be my favorite stage right now. It feels like the most neutral out of all the stages, even though, I mean, the center does do a lot of damage, and man, they are instantly striking Fudgy Waffles as they should. Honestly, dude's too good. You got to be hitting Fudgy Waffles.
Yeah, and with that damage pressure down, Fudgy no evade, so much chip damage in from Luke and Kilius. This guy is one hit away from death. The special comes in, but Fudgy miraculously stays alive. Finally, Fiery gets the KO, but that's a lot of cooldowns burned.
Absolutely, and I think this might end up being like a solid win condition, because Luke, in general, just likes to deal a whole lot of damage here. But now we got Frightfully Flash on the Asher, not the Rasmus. But we have a size start, so starting with Asher is also completely acceptable. And now they're going to have... Man, I mean, Final Destination got both their barriers up right now. So let's see what Blastoff can do here. Drew's going to grab one of them on the side here. Got a couple of blobs to back him up here. Fiery is super low, and so is Fudgy Waffles. Okay, the ultimate from Era is actually going to stop the ball here. Drew is going to be 1v2 here, trying to get the barrier by himself against Luke and Kilius. He's got Flip as well. And the center is actually going to send Fudgy Waffles and Fiery into oblivion. Drew with the perfect catch on the flip, but it's not going to pitch him a barrier here. Going to try to 2v1 once again, but it's not really going to work out, though. 100 cooldowns being sent, and yeah, the defense, or more like the assist from Fudgy Waffles, is going to let Drew strike into that barrier here. And we got a little bit of overtime. Actually, just... was that... that might have been Strike Shot, but that was just the range. And unfortunately for Kilius, actually loses the flip, trying to flip on Fresh's flip.
Oh, and Drew goes for the mix-up, but they did not need the mix-up there. Luke was in position to save it. And on the other side, it is Kilius who manages to get the first goal.
Yeah, I like that we had Fiery stun Frightfully Fresh, so he could not continue walking to try to defend that. And we're going to have the center broken immediately here. We're going to have an ultimate come out, try to do a whole lot of damage onto Kilius there. They're going to grab an orb, though. The other ultimate's going to mostly just hit the ball. Fudgy Waffles a little bit, actually getting below half. A couple, and now they're going to start sending a whole bunch of damage there, but they're going to grab the barrier. Blast off advantage just a little bit here. Frightfully Fresh is going to fight his way out with a little help of Fudgy Waffles, of course. And now, whoa, Fudgy Waffles with an unfortunate misread there. Kind of going to lose the barrier for that, but they do have Flip, so we could get a big play here in a couple seconds, as Fudgy Waffles is going to make a huge defensive play to go back up Frightfully Fresh. And now Drew is going to try to get the barrier kind of by themselves. Fudgy Waffles is going to feed them a little bit. Now Drew's got Flip as well. And okay, that's a good jump from Fudgy Waffles. And now it's going to be... okay, a big two-man power play for Blastoff. Luke's going to have to spend the Flip to try to waste as much time as possible. And it's going to be enough to get one player up.
Oh, and Fudgy Waffles with the dribble to the top side, using all of the overtime core speed in that one. It's 1-1, and each point has been scored by one of either Kilius or Fudgy Waffles. The ego check lives on.
Yeah, that was actually just a super solid flip. Really great primary to strike that one in there, but it's going to be Drew to get that primary in onto Kilius and the ball. The ultimate's going to do a bunch of damage to... Drew's ultimate is going to do damage to Kilius, and he's going to find the kill there with his Zentaro passive. And Fiery, unfortunately, just can't do it back to the enemy team in this position, and now Blastoff has both barriers open. And it's going to have to be a big power play here, but their team is quite low on health and kind of loses directly to the Amy turret, unfortunately. Now it's going to be an open goal, and they're going to find a kill onto Fudgy Waffles, which is kind of big, but they're going to try to get Fiery out of here. And they do actually get an even play. Jesus Christ, dude.
Yeah.
That was so good.
Drew doesn't hesitate, knows exactly what he wants to do, pulls the trigger on it, and that's the goal to the top side. As you were mentioning, Drew is just doing a lot better at putting on the early damage, creating the first power play, where Fiery just seems to not be doing as well.
That was so good. I'm sorry. That was just so good. The fact that he didn't hesitate, like, for a second. If he did, Luke would have easily been able to defend against that, but did not. which is all good because we have Drew in the top corner just sitting there for his life, and now the other team is just going to walk in front of him, get this power play going. And, okay, Drew is going to stall just long enough, especially with the evasive. They're going to kind of ping-pong top lane, getting a whole bunch of extra experience through Fudgy and Kiliast. They finally get it past, and now Luke's going to have to use their flip fight. Fleet Fresh keeps his. Kind of in a strike war here. Fiery's going to hold as much possession as they can, maybe try to get a kill on Luke here from Blast Off. Luke's going to try to play offensively to stay into the center of the board, and now they're going to have Kiliast play defensive just a little bit. They don't seem to end up getting a kill on Luke here. They're actually just spending a lot of cooldowns, and I think that Final Destination's pretty happy with that. Luke gets blasted against the wall and then blasted off the screen. So now we're in overtime.
Drew there, almost getting the strike war on the flip. Great coverage, making it hard for Kiliast, but Kiliast still defending. That guy used to be a goalie, and it definitely shows. Kiliast now pushing it forward for Fiery. They're really trying to get this barrier here. Such a crucial play, and Fiery manages to get it all the way around with the primary as well. A KO and the goal for 2-2.
Yeah, getting the kill, resetting the energy, getting experience, getting it past Asher's primary and her ult. I mean, that was just really good play from Fiery there on that flip. Just perfect timing there as Luke is going to make a huge offensive play, not even eject back, letting Kiliast play defense. I mean, Fresh actually did such a great job defending, but I really also like Luke's attempt there at the offensive pressure. And man, Drew is just going to make it hell on earth for Luke as he's going to grab both barriers and kill him with flip. So it's going to be a huge power play here for Blast Off. All right, we're going to have Frightfully Fresh try to get some pressure there. He's going to strike shot into his own barrier, unfortunately. And it doesn't look like they're going to be able to land this goal just yet. Kiliast does have flip, can make a big offensive push here. But Fresh is kind of just being a big wall, and Fudgy's kind of just playing good defense. It's just midfield. Like, that's just midfield. You play really good defense with your goalie. You try to feed it into your forward, and I think Fudgy Waffles is doing a pretty good job of that.
Oh, and Drew still gets a strike after the special. A scary situation for Luke, but gets out of there just barely as Fiery trying to get the passive strike in, but Fresh has the barrier beam on the Asher. A great flip by Kiliast to get it all the way around, but there's still a scoring opportunity here for Drew and Fudgy. Can they get a pass through is the question, especially with the strike shot backing them up from Fresh. But that Imi turret from Luke stops them in their tracks, and Fudgy has to be careful as well here. One hit of knockback could mean a KO. It's such a scary spot for Drew and Fudgy as Fiery has flip.
Indeed, and here comes the flip right now, and man, Drew is going to stop it instantly with his Zentaro ult. It will do that consistently, so you can make that happen every time. Good recognition from Drew there. Frightfully Fresh still does have his flip. It's going to be used right now. Absolutely good recognition. Luke, again, can't grab it, so he's going to have to flip by himself. Fresh's primary. Yep, absolutely. Kind of just unstoppable in this patch, which is, I don't know, good addition in my opinion, Smile. All right, so we're going to have... Oh, I didn't even get to talk about it as Luke just, man, actually hits it directly into Fiery's hand with that cyber swipe. That was just kind of good. That was just kind of good.
Yeah, and also mixes up Fresh in the process, right? Who burns that strike shot. And here comes Spark of Leadership with no other spark. Solo Spark of Leadership, which kind of sucks for the Zentaro because you're giving heavy impact over, but it's also Spark of Leadership.
Yeah, it is tough. Heavy impact, kind of big. As a goalie player, I always find it really awkward when Spark and team players show up at the same time. But they do go to opposite teams. So we're going to have Fiery is the one who's going to have the Spark of Leadership here. So that's kind of going to have to be a watch there. But Drew already doing a lot of damage, gets the damage perk here for Zentaro. So I think as far as Blast Off strategy goes, this kind of might fall in line.
Yeah, definitely could, but Fiery is the one who is in there right now, getting a barrier, doing a lot of damage to Fresh's health bar as Luke gets in there as well. They're all so low. One more rotation of abilities and the entire team of Blast Off could be getting KO'd here.
Absolutely, and we see Fudgy Waffle's health just kind of evaporating there, and now kind of in threat of dying. It's going to have to be an orb, right, for Fudgy Waffles there, of course. One barrier for each team, and man, Fresh just kind of runs up there and hits the barrier, and there's nothing else to say about that other than Luke. Oh, I'm dying over here. Luke is going to be the one that gets KO'd there, and now Drew has flipped directly in front of Kiliast Era, and man, unfortunately, you can't really expect Era to do a whole lot about Zentaro flipping in front of you. So, I don't blame Kiliast for that one. just good recognition from Drew there to notice that he had a super advantage spot.
A really tough situation as well. Yeah, like you said, it would have been... It would have required a little bit of magic for Kilius to get out of there. But it's another point, and the side of Final Destination has been so good so far. They're ahead in sets, and that flip from Fresh is good. One barrier taken, but that's a resource burn. That's Fiery in the corner pushing forward. A lot of damage onto Fudgy Waffles, who's forced to evade, but now has no meter. That's a flip, almost a KO, but Fudgy stays alive. Finally, Fiery. That's the power of heavy impact. This guy has no cooldowns.
That is absolutely true. And we can see that, man, just the nature of Zentaro, he's actually just fighting the core and the goalie, but in the process he kills the midfielder just because the abilities are just hitting them, and it's like an unheard of amount of value that you get out of like damaging the midfielder and making other people use their cooldowns just to keep the ball away. And it's like, that's Zentaro. He's just doing such a good job right now keeping that pressure on in the corner, and they're gonna have to keep it on as we get to overtime right now. And we have Fiery in stagger right now. Oh, they're going to have to lose the barrier there. It's going to be a really fast red corner. Yeah, going to have to flip because Drew is in threat. But man, the team player from Frightfully Fresh is going to make another red ball threat onto Luke, and he just can't get it.
That's the win condition. The team player pickup, like you were mentioning, so game warping when you can stall to overtime combined with the Juno. So many overtime long range threats now on the side of Blast Off, and as long as they can hold at least one barrier until that 60-second mark, they'll be sitting pretty.
I agree, and actually we kind of saw this from the last game where we had Kilius with 1-2 punch and we had the goalie with team player. So it's just like multiple forms of red balling kind of just makes things really difficult for people. Like, even though it just, I don't know, some people do pass team player, I think it's insane. And so a big push here from Drew is actually going to, I don't know, net him sort of nothing, as he maybe just does a minor misstep there. We'll just say good defense from Luke there. And so Kilius is staggered, looking to get a kill. Fiery also just about dead, and the health advantage for Blastoff is pretty outrageous right now. But Fiery's going to have to see if they can survive, and they do, and Fresh does hold the barriers, so we're still kind of in an even situation right now, but Fudgy is going to get knocked against the wall. Overtime shows up once again. Juno getting the super fast red core right now.
You gotta be careful though, because Fiery's still in position. Oh, but a great KO down. The flip has to be burned by Fresh, and that's a little scary. Melee goalie in an open net's not a place you want to be, but you do have that team player on board for these crazy passing plays, almost unreactable if they can get a good angle going, but it's interrupted by Fiery. The Slimes will try to send it forward. Fiery trying to catch something here. A pass attempted, and to the top side, no, still not good enough for Final Destination. They have to find something before these passes get too overwhelming. Fresh to the top side, not getting the proc there, and the glitch pops and jump from Luke will be scary. A great save by Fresh, barely scoops the core out. But Luke is locking down this barrier, and the core just goes all the way around. Drew finally gets it. Can they find a play?
We're going to have to see. I mean, once again, the team player is still active. Fudgy's playing a little bit more defense, which makes some sense. Overtime kind of does cause problems, especially for the goalies, and now they're going to actually get a kill on Drew. So it's like, okay, that might have been the only thing that stops the ball there. So actually kind of nice from Fresh there. Not too many people left to pass the ball to. The team player a little sad now, but Drew is back up, and Fudgy is also going to have fake team player at home as it just launches the Slimes left and right. And this is almost like a minute and a half into overtime right now, and this is like a whole lot of pressure here. We got Fudgy Waffles, who does have flip. Fresh, do not let that thing go into there. Kilius does have flip, can feed Fiery something fierce, and actually Fudgy is going to get a wonderful defense there. We also see that the team player does proc off of strike shot, which again changes another dynamic of things. And Fudgy Waffles, yeah, nice wait to not lose the strike core to Fiery. Oh, wow, it's actually going to be Zentaro. Drew is actually going to kind of just push it in, straight on in there, right past Luke. Really great.
So hard to deal with too at that core speed. Just great awareness from Drew, and the game's all evened up again. The 1-2 punch, more core speed, looking a little scary, but we're probably going to see the Asher take speed or size here. Maybe even deny a timeless creator, but no, we'll just pass down the potential 1-2 punch, and it is denied there. But My question is if anyone will pick up the Among Titans for that additional size priority. And
That's a
again,
good question, yeah.
Fresh is just leaving the draft all the way down to try and get as many good picks for his other teammates as possible, but at the moment, that's a lot of damage on the side of Final Destination.
Yeah, I agree. I think, honestly, Luke, pretty happy with 1-2 punch. Considering the playstyle that I'm seeing from Luke, 1-2 punch seems to be pretty great. And I mean, already have Final Destination taking both barriers there. Era now with a whole bunch of extra speed, going to be even better as a midfielder, but a little harder in the strike war, which might hinder. We'll see if that happens. But now we have a minor offense here from Blastoff to try to get the last barrier here. See if Fudgy... No red balls. We don't have overtime right now. I'm going to get a little team player proc from the back pass. Okay, we're going to be able to defend that flip from Luke, and now he's not going to have access to that. A whole lot of damage on Fiery, and yeah, they do end up finding the kill there. So now it's going to be Fudgy Waffles feeding Drew this core to see if they can make this power play worth it. All they have to do is get this one other barrier, but... Okay, Fudgy just seems to spend flip on nothing unless I blinked really long. Yeah. I'm not entirely sure.
It's a bit of a tough situation, right? He tried to get some coverage on the Kilius play, ended up getting nothing out of it. And now Fiery is such a threat. Fresh has to be so careful, wins the strike war, dashes down. They manage to get out of there, but a barrier still up on the other side. They have to put up this defense, but also try to find any offense wherever possible. Fudgy with a good slime, and Drew will find the strike onto the barrier. Fresh now has a hold for a little while longer. The core speed accelerating all the way around the map, but Drew doesn't catch it on the right side of the special. Fresh now to Drew, and through again, just like earlier.
Yo, that is so bust. Oh, man. Again, super good recognition from Drew to get the angle right, to get the flip right. I mean, man, that is getting them a ton of value on these flips. And it's also just, like, scary. Like, this can happen. So, I don't know. That's kind of, like, maybe going to mess with Luke a little bit. Hopefully not. But we'll see. One barrier down for Blastoff here. One for Final Destination as well. Now they have a pretty big push here as Fiery does have flip. Not going to spend it there, though. Instead, we're going to try to get some damage on Frightfully Fresh. Not a whole lot of it. More damage is going to drop onto Kilius. This Fudgy Waffles is going to be sniping. Luke does have flip for a good defense there. And again, we just see the Zentaros kind of just every couple of seconds spending cooldowns to deal some damage. The Glitch Pop actually going to whiff. Going to lose the barrier for that, unfortunately. The Storm is going to drag the core across the side there. Fiery's still very weak. Kilius feels like maybe he has no one to send it to. Okay, this ult's going to stop the ball. Okay, nice, not using the flip there, recognizing. And get there in time.
Fudgy Waffles now activated fully with all of the core speed. Fiery still low, taken out by Frightfully Fresh. It's all up to Kilius here, but the core sends all the way around. Luke now flipping, but Fresh will still save the barrier with the strike shot at the last possible moment. Now with the team player all the way to Drew, but Luke wins the strike war somehow. Luke is continuing to lock it down, and that's the one role that you can play and get good practice on in solo queue. It's goalie, because it's just you against the other team. Luke now forward again, but the core is flying so fast, nothing's being found. Fiery trying to set up a play, gets it around Fresh, but a flip's available. Oh! Fiery barely gets it through. Fresh tries to get it to Fudgy, but not in time.
That was crazy. I think I know what happened. I think it... it hit the Asher primary, like, wall piece when it was, like, going up, and it was just the wrong angle, but either way, this is an even game right now. This is somehow only, like, 2 sets in. It feels like we've been here for so long, because these points have gone on so long, and now we're actually going to have a super 2-man power play for Blastoff as they send in an unheard of amount of damage over onto Final Destination here. One barrier just sitting there. Luke, I guess, kind of defending it. It feels like Blastoff might be slightly inaccurately setting up their offense. As we're going to have Drew to get the ultimate there. It's not going to land with the passive. All right, still 2 barriers, even though they had that wild power play.
Yeah, despite that 3v1, Luke holds on, plays proactively, and a little bit of missed opportunities, missed passes from the side of Blastoff. Final Destination now pushing forward, burning a flip, forcing Fudgy to walk away to not die to the Arenado. Kilius, a bit of a menace, but the barrier's left open. Drew now trying to push forwards forward, has the passive strike that we've seen so many times, but Luke will be the one flipping for the other side, taking the barrier. Drew has flip to the top side, and 3 for 3 it feels like on these scoring attempts.
Yeah, Drew just like he's hanging out by that top edge of the goal, and the ball's getting to him there, and unfortunately Luke is just not there at that time. Another funny thing to bring up again is like the 1-2 punch from Luke is really acting like a pseudo team player. When he flips in overtime, he gets that extra 14%, which is really significant, just like team player. And they're gonna have one barrier for Blastoff here. Let's see if they can do any more. This will win them this set if they get this point, which could be significant, as you always get to pick your awakenings first. Fudgy Waffles is going to have a nice clear there. Oh my gosh. Fiery actually gets a kill on Frightfully Fresh there with a big flip. I mean, sometimes too much size is not a good thing.
Yeah, it's a little too close to the edge, and unfortunately for Fresh, flip into anything, well, anything into flip is like the combo bread and butter for every character in the game. So hard to react to as well, because just one ability, it can't hurt. But Luke trying to find a play out of nowhere, but the power play is continuous for the side of Blastoff, but the NATO is good, stalls out so much time. Luke will look for a leap forward here, but not forward yet, as the respawns do come in. Drew trying to find a play on the bounce, but Fiery will send it to the top side, threaten Frightfully Fresh, burn a lot of cooldowns from the Asher. But another KO is found by Drew. That's the third power play in the past few seconds.
Yeah, and you had mentioned a little earlier that it's really going to be a good redirect there from the slime. You had mentioned a little earlier that Kilius was a goalie main, and I feel it. I'm seeing it. It's like they really do have like 2 competent goalies at the times that they need, and we notice that like the power plays from Blastoff are not as significant, maybe because of their experience with like playing goalie in this fashion. So that seems to be coming in like really good handy. And now we have not all 3, actually just 2 dash perks showing up right now, and Juno is going to be really happy grabbing one of those.
It's a little bit stressful as we head into the later parts of this game, right? That fight or flight in particular, so scary when it's on Drew, because when you stagger someone, you get your secondary back. And Drew has been doing a lot of staggering.
Yeah, he has. Also, we see that Fudgy Waffles decided to take aerials over Hot Shot. And I understand, but also just significant to note, no Hot Shot for the Juno now. Instead, we have Luke with the Hot Shot, which is, again, another different way to make the ball surprisingly fast. So they're going to have to keep that in mind, as one of these barriers is going to go down, and they're going to have a big offensive push here. The black hole does end up spawning and destroying Fudgy Waffles' last little bit of health here. And now Fiery has a big offensive play. Fresh, again with the primary, is going to be really great defense, but they're going to find that barrier. And now Fresh is going to have to get out of here in the 2v1. Fudgy Waffles is going to back him up. Does get it out of there. Fiery does have flip. Is he going to use it on this play? Okay, nice. Getting it out of the Zentara ult is a huge deal. But Drew, again, showing up with that flip. Doesn't want to use it. And keeps it with the recovery drone. Kind of didn't really notice that. But he has recovery drone, which keeps the flip huge.
It also maintains Octavia secondary, which was something that came in clutch like a few days ago or something. But no, Luke!
Look at him! He tried to do it!
He really tried. He wanted it again. But this time it was unfortunately Luke. With all of the core speed, the glitch bot found the core on the wrong side of it. And just 2 points stand between Blastoff and winner side of Grand Finals. They're feeling scarily close here, especially as well as all 3 members are playing. Drew staying alive, not getting hit by the cyber swipe of Luke, spacing back just enough, and not taking any excess damage from Fiery. This guy staying alive, and with Fudgy Waffles, the dash range coming in from aerials, and Drew getting in there, the offense just gets so scary. If you're Luke, you're an IME goalie, the defensive power is not there when someone's on top of you.
Absolutely, and man, Fresh just had a couple of really good defensive moments there, as they had a pretty bad place defensively, but man, Fresh is holding it down, getting the team player right to Fudgy Waffles, sending it directly into Drew, and maybe team player is the way that they're getting this ball to Drew so quickly and so efficiently. I think that's something kind of important to see. They're gonna have to have Final Destination maybe block a couple more passes as they get a really big offensive push here, but Fiery loses all his health in this offensive push. Good defense from Luke there. Actually going to stop the ball, and Drew's going to win a fat strike war against Kilius there to snag that point. And we do see Kilius does have the Among Titans, making it even harder to win that strike war.
Yeah, Kilius was dwarfed by the Zentaro of Drew. Normally not the biggest character, but has that size on board, and against the Shrunk era, it's a little favored for Drew, let's say, and he has passed the strike again, almost at the flip, keeping control for so long as Fiery tries to do the same on the other side, but Frightfully Fresh splits the path, and Drew gets in there, flip in front of the net, and that's it. They're in Winterside Grands.
That was it, and man, just a second before they scored, we saw the literal army of slimes chasing that ball. I think it was going to be quite a tough chance getting it out of there, but wow. I mean, as we might have predicted, a slight advantage for Blastoff. I think certainly a competitive. As long as you at least take one set, you could take any sets. You could take any amount of sets. So a solid attempt there from Final Destination. Unfortunately for them, they're going to move on to the hell bracket, losers brackets.
It's not nice down there. There are a lot of demons. But
indeed. That's a guaranteed third.
That is a guaranteed top 3 for Final Destination. Of course, they'll be trying to get back into Grands for the revenge, especially Kilius against Fudgy Waffles. But I don't know. Nothing is certain in this tournament. Upsets all over the place. Anyone can beat everyone, I guess.
That's true, man. That was like a pretty good example of such a theory as well. I feel like we had like pretty much 2 evens and taros about the even power, and I mean they did exactly what they needed to do. They got I wish I was still on the other screen, but I could assume something like 10 kills probably per side. Actually, I feel like maybe Blastoff might have had like maybe 15 kills to maybe the 10 on Final Destination, but I don't know. I think having 2 competent goalies was a big deal there. There was a ton of power plays, even double power. Like there was more than one time where 2 players on Final Destination died at the same exact time, which is 14 seconds or 13 or 14 seconds of nothing. You're 3v1. And I mean, Luke just held it. Luke held the ball, no problem. I think there was a time where it was Kilius who was the 1v3 and held the ball, and it was like, are they just good, or does this, it's questionable. Does the offense need to be a little bit more, I don't know, strategically? Do you have to like a better positioning here, maybe like setting up with the power play? I don't know. It's hard. It is definitely hard, especially with the ball going so fast. Like sometimes you just like can't even control your own ball, your own passes in overtime.
And that's actually something that's interesting, because I talked with a friend who came back to the game recently, and one of the things they subtly noticed was that the core was moving a lot faster, and I think there's just a lot more sources of core speed, and players are better at abusing such core speed. So it's definitely a change that's happened in the game that kind of changed a lot of the dynamics, and I think a lot of it, I guess Fresh had a pretty good time of it, being familiar with the Asher goalie so much, and if you use that barrier beam at the right time with it not being bugged anymore, you can just say no to a lot of things.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll directly agree with what you just said, that there's like more core speed in the game. I mean, think about it. If take Finny. Finny's a solid example too, because I mean, her primary, like you do not need a lot of power to get her primary to red ball the core, and her ultimate red balls the core before overtime. And then you have Kazan, who has just his strike, hitting the core faster than anyone. And then you have the Maddening Descent, which also like has a dummy amount of power. So some of the newer characters in the game really just have that like shock factor where they get to like really blast the ball. Luckily, well, actually, now actually does have it. She sets up the primary for a couple seconds there. Then she also gets to blast that one. So there are definitely a couple of more extra things in the game. Like Amy, another example of a character that's like pretty strong in all facets of the game, but she doesn't actually just blast the core. I don't even think her secondary red balls the core in overtime, like by itself, base kit.
Yeah, and if we look down into the bottom side of the bracket, the Christmas Crusaders have prevailed, avoided the upset against the Sauna Strikers, which means, unfortunately, despite the Sauna Strikers run, we won't be able to see them on stream. And that's the rough thing about a bracket like this, right? There's so many good teams we won't be able to see.
Yeah. I definitely have run brackets in other games before, and that does end up being the case where you certainly know you can't stream every single set, but you just try to get what's good, and sometimes, due to DQs or upsets, it's just the same people on stream, which is fair. It's fine. That's how it works. All good. Bun Bun Bonanza and Bozo Bunch looks like they're still kind of duking it out right now.
Apparently, Bozo Bunch are 1 goal away from taking that one.
All right, Bozo Bunch, 1 goal away. I mean, they were the victors of the last Ahten City, so not too much of an upset there. But again, I mean, both are extremely competent teams, of course.
Yeah,
like this is just a set you'd see in Nassel.
Yeah, this is just a Nassel regular season game.
Yeah.
Oh, and over on the Dropletto stream, the Dropathon, Dropletto just took 2 barriers, but Moffin getting scored on by Lilybun from the other side. It's 2-2.
All right, that's fair. Maybe I should grab that stream as well. Here I go. Get the down low here. The Dropathon.
I can throw that up. Oh, yeah.
Really great sets so far, honestly. It's been a delight commentating each set. Pretty happy with this. Hopefully I'm not like blabbering too poorly for you.
No, you've been saying some like on point stuff, right? Especially.
I hope so.
Yeah. Oh, and that's it. The Bozo Bunch, they've done it.
Yep. I open the stream and boom, he scores. That's Jeej.
But speaking of blabbering, I think we're gonna have a bit of a caster swap now. So.
Alrighty then. It was a pleasure, a delight, a wonderful time, Saya, to commentate this first part of the Ahten City Underground number 3. Heck yeah, dude.
Yeah, it was such a good time, and there are only 3 more series left, so we'll see you then.
Heck yeah, enjoy the thing. Stay tuned. All right.
Hello everyone, hi strikers, hey strikers, we're back. I'm here with Yoshi64, the one and only, and this is basically a soon-to-be strikers matchup.
Welcome to Omega Strikers ASMR, where we will be guiding you through the wonderful journey of the Christmas Crusaders versus Bozo Bunch.
You're feeling a little Christmassy.
I'm always feeling a little Christmassy. I've got that cheer surging through my veins. Like blood or potentially oil. Which is... So I don't... I realize I don't know. I don't have the capacity to explain.
All right, but
everything there.
I have the capacity to explain my joke, and the soon-to-be strikers, the alliteration, the Christmas Crusader sounds like basically the same thing, and there's a Grimella on top, so it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah. I wonder if that was intentional too. Have the does that guy just make alliterations every time he joins a team? Last time it was Alpha Besties. They were like Go Gamers. That's different. All the teams were.
Speaking of alliteration, the Bozo Bunch.
Whoa! Wait, and I'm locked in. We've got the match of all time. Alliteration battle, Christmas Crusaders versus Bozo Bunch. Who's gonna go? Which letter is better, B or C?
And if they make it past this loser semis, the winner will be facing the non-alliteration traders. Final Destination and then Blast Off.
Oh wow, I have been paying attention to the bracket, only a moderate amount. Final Destination is Achilles Fiery and Luke. Understood. Write that down. They played in winners finals. The Blast Off had to take to the skies, I think. Blast Off being the team to send Christmas Crusaders to losers, so that's pretty big.
You've been watching the Bell stream, right?
I've been watching the Bell stream.
Has there been any insider info on why so many upsets have happened in this bracket?
No, not at all. This has just been the best I've got. Is Gumi said this tournament is a fever dream like 3 times. So do with that information what you will. I do know the Snake Kainoob you already lose team. I had to remember their third, and their third was you already lose. That team DQ'd due to technical issues, and they were the second seed, first seed, one of the top 2 seeds. Other one was, buckle up, GWDGSAGOSFACYMFC, which went 1-2, and also lost to Blast Off.
Yeah, this is definitely a tournament. After the LAN, where it felt like everything played out according to how it should be, this is the polar opposite.
Yeah, we stepped into the inverted dimension where LAN was pretty cut and dry. And the most exciting thing was that soon-to-be strikers took a nice third. Those were some exciting games. But now we're in Bizarro world where anyone can win. You know, anything can happen. I think a big thing is all of these teams are just, I guess not Bozo Bunch. Bozo Bunch is Bozo Bunch. But Christmas Crusaders isn't a national team. It's just 3 national players from different teams. We've got a lot of mix-ups, some twists and turns, all that. And the upsets could just be coming from lack of team synergy and opposing ideals. You know, when you play with the same people for months on end, you kind of get a feel for what's going on, but you show up to someone from another team and join up, and might not be that easy, you know?
Yeah, and as Achi was saying, this tournament kind of feels like a randomizer tournament with how the teams are mixed up. So,
yeah, actually.
Yeah. You throw all the Nassau players in a random number generator, and sometimes you just get normal Nassau teams like the Bun Bun Bonanza and the Bozo Bunch, but sometimes you get a mix.
Yeah, sometimes you get the Christmas Crusaders or a series of letters that we'll never know the meaning of.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
After they were defeated, I think Vaughn locked away the actual meaning forever.
Yeah, it will never see the light of day. So, hey, take your guesses in the chat right now what that acronym means. Whoever has the funniest one will win a prize. I won't tell you what it is.
Shout out to Melon Bread, by the way, who did upset the 3 Million Letters team and unfortunately ran into the Bozo Bunch right afterwards for a pretty respectable top 8 finish. Sir, Obscure Breads, and Tempo Melon. Sir and Tempo Melon definitely pulling their weight there.
Yeah, really showing up. Breads heralded as one of like a top 5 goalie, one of the best goalies to do it, and to show up with 2 not NASL players. If I was in that position, I'd be a little nervous. Be like, this guy's pretty good. I gotta show up and make it happen, and they did. That is exactly what they did. So, congratulations to them.
This is a concerningly long loading screen.
I have terrible news as to what this means, and I think you know too. But
yeah,
well,
loading bug has returned for the first time in what seems like a year.
I will. I'll be completely real. I was tabbed out. It might have been.
You were
fault.
The imposter.
I could be Among Us.
It was your fault.
I might have been a little bit of a griefer on main, but here we're showing up with a Chrono Boost Demolitionist start, which is pretty normal, but like nothing too absurd. Bozo Bunch has that Octavia. We're seeing the bands come out. Does not have the Octavia anymore. And Era also taken off. Gumi hovering the Era goalie. Thinking about running that double brawler comp. That's off the table. No Octavia. We're in for some pretty normal Omega Strikers out today. We got Bells on the Julie. Who could have seen that coming? The Grimch pulling up on Now. In fact, we see 2 Nows. Now's the time. And I'm pretty sure that is a Rasmus goalie. Hey, I'm interested to see how this game pans out.
So I'm getting a fun fact from Machi right now. This is the first regular format open entry tourney that we've run that doesn't have first or second seed guaranteed in grands.
Wow. Yeah, because usually these tournaments will have like 4 NASL players enter in total, and 3 of them are on a team together.
Or just 2 national teams.
Yeah, and then they're just the first 2 seeds, and then they make it to grands, and everyone says, "Whoa, we could have seen that coming." But today, like every national player showed up to play, and the LAN really ignited the fire, set the hearts ablaze, and I, for one, am really happy to see it. Now we've got all these wacky teams, crazy upsets going on, everything like that.
Yeah. Speaking of crazy upsets, the Bozo Bunch falling to the round 2, and now they're back in the top 4. They're taking their losers run in stride, taking out teams such as want to go to Olive Garden Saya and Melon Bread.
Oh, do you?
No.
Awesome.
Speaking of Olive Garden, you know the unlimited breadsticks?
Yeah.
We had unlimited fries at Red Robin after the LAN. And that's why Brickbat is the Potato King.
That makes so much sense. I wonder which one's more value. Whoa. I wonder how that goal got in.
Moppin from the other side with the primary. Just this guy holds it down. Moppin on the Rasmus or the Kazan, right? It is kind of crazy.
Yeah, those are a really interesting goalie pool, and not one that I would say is super conventional. There's been a lot of talk, especially after LAN, of Rasmus goalie being complete and total dog meat, and I think that's not completely unwarranted, but oh my god. Hey, Moth and Koei is making it work right now. Oh no! A lower accurate Soren angle. You hate to see it from Gumi.
It was almost there, but the angle was a tiny bit too close to the goal. And yeah, back on the more important conversation, breadsticks versus fries. I think I personally prefer biscuits between the two.
Biscuits.
Because we had unlimited biscuits at the other place we went to.
Whoa, yeah, I was about to say, what place is showing up with unlimited biscuits?
It was like a barbecue place, and it cost a lot, but the biscuits, unlimited biscuits, they had like sugar on top, and we also dipped them in the barbecue sauce, which was surprisingly good in the spicy barbecue sauce. Like, unlimited biscuits, kind of gaps.
Yeah, that does sound great. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, sorry, I was thinking about unlimited biscuits and then tuned back into Omega Strikers, and that guy died. And honestly, Bozo Bunch is kind of crushing it. But I think I gotta go with unlimited fries, personally.
Yeah, and speaking about the game back again, the Bozo Bunch looking good. I think the relatively recent development of I learning now has helped them quite a bit, right? Bozo Bunch, once known as the most killable team of all time, are no longer as killable.
Right, that's the sole point of that character, is to do that. And I think a big thing happening in this game is Bells is engaging in what we like to call Bell's lore, where he is standing on the other side of the map, and that's where Rasmus thrives, because he can just put every single ability into the enemy brawler, say, hey kid, you are done, you're gonna die, and then he dies. We've been seeing that a lot, but Bell's picking up Stagger Swagger. We might be seeing the like, that is the perfect counter to exactly what's going on. And now, as long as they can get the ball into the Rasmus range, you know, and not let that happen where he primaries it on the midfield line,
yeah,
then I think we can see the Christmas Crusaders make a comeback here.
The thing that's really helping the Bozo Bunch, though, is that Dropletto is staying up most of the game, and I is just finding ways to get it to Dropletto, who's like perfectly centered in front of the goal. And when that's happening, the Bozo Bunch are a team that wins off that alone. Grimella sending it through, Bells almost sending it through, but Moffin with a great save to the top side. That's the real Soren angle right there, as I sends to Dropletto, who dribbles forward. Grimella working on a flip as the Bozo Bunch push stalls out, but they're still getting it forwards, and they get a KO onto Bells out of nowhere.
Yeah, Dropletto picking up that specialized training, just one punching Bells to the moon, and then putting it in. And after that, Bozo Bunch are looking really, really good here.
And especially with Dropletto, the one having meter, they could rush down a point very quickly if Dropletto gets a core in front of both barriers right there. Saved away by Gumi, a little bit preemptive, but the follow-up from and with a player who's so good at corner offense in it was only a matter of time before he realized that maybe now was a good character for that.
Perhaps the healer character is exceptional for healing, but oh my god, a midfield core flip. You can't heal that one, gotta stop it. And unfortunately, Gumi throwing out the ensnare drums, trying to predict a bounce off the wall. Letting I just put it straight in the bottom.
The Christmas Crusaders not looking as confident here. Gumi and Bells, I think, not looking as scary as they normally do, right? Grimella in the midfield, well, it's a little hard when you're tiny, but we're just not seeing the magic that we usually see from Gumi and Bells.
Yeah, I mean, Bells 1 HP here, having to evade. Getting a great tap on the barrier, though. You know, I and Moff and Koei throwing abilities at him, but with a good evade, he's able to get by them and then tap it in. And now Christmas Crusaders are just kind of looking to get it in, and with a very clean dash punch, dribble off the wall. Not just the cores going in. An insane dash punch angle, honestly. A little bit of a MOBA difference. if I dare say.
The slight efficiency and movement helping Bells out quite a bit there, some might say, as Dropletto gets bounced around, takes a lot of damage, is building up that flip though, but almost gets KO'd before he is able to use it. Gets finally taken out here, and Gumi maintains the barrier on the other side. Muffin and I now on the bottom side having to defend against the very angry Bells. Grimella trying to push the core forward, but the defense is good from the Bozo bunch. They keep the core up. Bells now with another opportunity, but Muffin just pulls Bells away, but Bells is in there with the strike. The Juliet doesn't even need any abilities, it looks like, but Bells with so much speed. That guy just zoomed right past. What the hell?
Yeah, wow. A little bit of Mako speed with the pep in his step, and that's the Bells set I'm familiar with. Showing up and making these goals look easy, bringing us to a 0.5 this set, and I think a little bit more of that, and we could see Christmas Crusaders take this point, especially because they got a really crucial KO on Dropletto last point. I think if they're able to pull off something similar, I think Bozo Bunch without Dropletto is not putting up as much pressure. Dropletto is just such a terrifying force in front of these barriers. But now, Christmas Crusaders got the barriers. They were able to get it through.
But it's so scary, right? Muffin actually strike warring the flip coming out from I. Dropletto working on a flip of his own as I tries to keep it up. Dropletto gets the KO, has a flip in front of the barrier, will just spend it to get it, but this is still a very scary set for the Bozo bunch. One Bells outplay, one Dropletto outplay even could make the difference here, but Bells is lurking. That's cooldowns burned from Muffin. That's a score and a goal, and those are the types of mistakes that Bells will punish every single time.
Yeah, like textbook classic page 1 Bells goal. He dribbles it up, puts it in, and as a reward, 4 sparks on the board, one of them being leadership. Bell saying sparks are just not engaging with this, taking the 1-2 punch. Good pick. Again, like either getting a dash punch KO on any member of Bozo Bunch here, I think is going to make the game for Christmas Crusaders so much easier.
But the issue with that is that's a Monumentalist now on Night Market. You won the set.
Timeless Monu even.
You won the set, but that guy got Timeless Monumentalist and a Chrono Boost 2 for the cherry on top, you know? This I build is ridiculous.
Yeah, absolutely titanic creations coming out from now.
I mean,
and with Dropletto, he just mowing through everything Gumi's putting up on the defense. Dropletto can just play so far forward and not care about what's going on behind him because he knows that it's going to be massive creations at his back, able to push the core up at any time.
And as
Gumi here doing a little bit of Mako holding.
I think we had the same brain cell because I was about to say, like, even as good as Gumi is holding, Dropletto just feels so efficient so far, but Bell is actually in position. But Muffin saving it away, and a great clear by I to barely get it past. That's a flip available, but Gumi will save those, and Muffin, a dangerous spot, but wins the strike war against Bells. Now it's a scary situation as they have to get it away from Bells, who's lurking on the far side of the map, but it does get past, but Bells gets it again, goes for a dribble, doesn't quite make it happen, and a great clear by Muffin. But a flip available to the bottom side to Bells, to I, blocked away. And the Bozo bunch, despite the Monumentalists, are not quite finding the scoring efficiency that they want. Never mind.
Yeah, but Dropletto with the core flip. It is about as efficient as you can get. Trading core flip for a goal is a pretty good one. Now Bozo bunch up 2-0. I believe they were up 2-0 last set as well, so anything is possible. Christmas Crusaders do have Bells on their team. A little bit of Sad Boys O2 Comfort Zone lore could rear its head once more, but until then, it's
oh no,
Bells is Bellsing on them.
Okay.
Getting a core flip from I too, but core still saved.
If Bell scored there, that would have been the most Bells moment of all time. But Moffin's still defending for now. But Bells has so many chances to work with, controlling the core so well, even as Juliet continuing to get opportunities again and again. Still staying alive too, getting the KO onto I, who lurks a little bit too long. And Moffin doesn't quite find the angle to the top side. What a Bells point.
Yeah, what an incredible Bells point. And something that didn't even cross my mind is I mentioned getting KOs on any member of the Bozo Bunch is super, super useful because they're all so integral to their game plan. But it also gives Bells pummeler speed. And so, you know, showing up with 30% speed made that last goal happen, and a great ult made a double barrier happen right there. And it looks like they're charging up for another score, but the dash punch gets defended by Moff and Koei. And the Bozo Bunch isn't out this point yet.
Yeah, they're getting the core forward, but Grimella, I think, in the previous plays has been so instrumental, right? Catching the core when I was trying to get it out, winning the strike wars, trying to get it through this time. But that's not the pendulum swing you want. It goes directly to Bells. Moffin, not in the right position. And again, Bells doesn't let those mistakes go by unpunished. A goal immediately found. You know how it's like Bells and Gumi aren't playing like the same magical Bells and Gumi they were in the first set? Well, I guess they just needed the first set to warm up because they are creating plays so often.
Yeah, absolutely. We're seeing a lot of really great Bells Julie ults, and one of my favorite Bells quotes ever is people somehow seem to make Julie ult look hard. And like I think he's right, because every time he uses it like a core flip, where you save it until you're like right on top of the barrier, right on top of the goal, and just uses it as a checkmate. Because like if you're getting Julie ulted directly in the face, what are you supposed to do about that? Like how do you survive that? And he just keeps doing it, and it's always super successful. And I'm always really happy to see it, because when you use it like that, ability's pretty easy.
Dropletto now has to be a little careful near the edge. Trying to lurk, trying to get a Monumentalist play down, but Moffin with the primary lets it go. Bell is trying to get the goal right then and there, and uses the ult like you said, but this time it's saved away by the Bozo Bunch. Goes around the world yet again. That's so much presence taken up by the creations of but again, Bells gets the core. Moffin sends it around the world. Dropletto trying to send it forward. Has the flip now, but so many enemy flips as well. That's not the night market bounce you want, as Bells with a flip in front of the goal. A great hook by Moffin for all the coverage in the world. And now it's Dropletto and I's turn to find a passing play, but Grimella is there to interrupt. It goes back to Bells, goes back to They're trying to find a pass through everything, but Bells gets it, and Bells with the dash punch creates the goal out of nowhere. The Bozo Bunch get a little too impatient.
What an insane point. Some of the saves Moff and Koei was making were like, it just weren't real. Words fail to describe.
That guy used hook to block the entire top of the barrier. It was crazy.
That guy used hook and one, and said, here's my cooldown. One incredible save, please. And made it happen. But here, that was picking up Unstoppable, which I think is actually an exceptional pick into Rasmus goalie. Yeah. What's he gonna do? Primary you?
This also came up at the LAN, right?
Yeah, I think so, because Rasmus goalie has been kind of out of commission, brought back at the LAN. A lot of people are playing it, and since Unstoppable is back in the pool with the rework, I think a lot of people have been trying to figure out where Unstoppable is good and where it isn't. Break down the matchups. And Rasmus goalie coming back, it does not really favor this Unstoppable, as Bells is here just shredding the Bozo Bunch. He is looking, dare I say, unwashed.
I thought you were going for the low-hanging fruit and about to say Unstoppable.
Oh,
but he's also looking unwashed as well, Yeah,
well, I've been watching the Bell stream. I've got a different low-hanging fruit to pick.
That's true, as Bells is in there, has the flip, still maintaining and getting the barrier and keeping possession in the hands of Grimella, who is continuing to pass it up. Flip down to the bottom. Moffin's not ready. they're suddenly 1 goal away from winning this entire game and moving on to top 3.
Yeah, after such a Bozo Bunch favorite point or set at the very beginning, it's hard to see the game going this this way so suddenly, where Christmas Crusaders are just dominating. But I guess when you consider the players on the team, it doesn't sound too far-fetched. But hey, Bozo Bunch doing a little bit of O2 comfort zoning themselves, getting 1 barrier, mounting a great offense, but with Gumi and Grimilla defending it away, it seems like Christmas Crusaders are on the offense once again. Oh, just kidding. That guy's dead.
Dropletto with the double kill. Grimilla's recovery drone pops, but they can't get this barrier. The strike war is won by Gumi over and over again. The emotes come out as Gumi continues to hold. There's the Gumi we know and love with the Blobbo question mark into XDD, but still, they're keeping the push up. No, never mind. It goes into the hands of Bells yet again. I goes for a crazy pass to Dropletto, but Dropletto has no meter. Put in jail. Moffin barely getting it out, but not this time. Like you said, again and again, this guy uses ult like core flip, and it's just so easy.
Oh yeah, almost getting it. Moffin Koei winning a great strike war. Got those goalie strike wars on lock. And now Bells with the unstoppable shield back up, but Dropletto is just mowing through Christmas Crusaders right now, and a core flip from I is going to bounce it off, I think, the opening goal barriers. So, a Bozo Bunch showing up, saying we're not done yet. We're getting back in there. Time to bring it to a set 5.
It's definitely possible. Dropletto is incredibly scaled at the moment. If this guy finds an opportunity, that could be KOs, that could be a striker advantage, that could be the goal being found, but Grimilla so far has been so good at preventing that, and Bells has been the one finding the KOs instead. Look at how he plays with the Flame Flurry, just faking out the entire team of the Bozo Bunch, not getting a barrier then, but it very may well have been.
And now Bells with the core flip. I come back. Bells no longer has a core flip. He has been mowed down by Dropletto, who now has 3 prize fighter stacks and Spark of Strength and specialized training. This guy is putting out a small amount of damage with the power he has. Bells is back, ready to make something happen, but with Moffin Koei almost having a core flip. Oh, just kidding. They say it's going to be hard to get through, but Bells with just these insane dash punches every time. A little bit of MOBA dash punch. A great Flame Flurry. Almost puts it in. Not quite, though. But Grimilla trying to get him the rock. Oh, Dropletto with the core flip. Putting it in. Gumi with his own.
A great flip from Grimilla. Dropletto in position in the midfield, but Bells has a dash punch elusive the way. The goalie does not fall there, and I gets it to the other side, but Gumi still has flip. Moffin still has to get out of the situation, goes around Grimilla. Exactly what Bozo Bunch needs, but Bells gets the core again, and again gets there before Moffin can. And Christmas Crusaders are continuing on to top 3.
Ladies and gentlemen, they've saved Christmas. Lives on another day. But maybe not for long, because looking at the bracket, Christmas Crusaders got to go against Final Destination next. We made it all the way to the winners finals. You know, a very strong team in their own right. I'm very curious to see how they stack up against Bells, Grimilla, Gumi. In the meantime, though, Grimilla and I did a small amount of redirecting, both clocking in over 200, and just like head and shoulders above some of the other players in this lobby. Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to ask you a question that I've been wondering for a very long time. Is now weak? You can tell me. You can be honest with me.
So when I was uploading the video, the clips video that Marissa made, I looked at the recommendations, and one of them was playing the most underrated character, and the thumbnail had now in it.
Well, I have good news for that guy. Underrated is not the word I would use. In fact, I would say she's pretty rated. I think there's a lot of situations. Maybe a little. I think I think the now being OP is a little overhyped. There's a lot of situations where she's just like not that good. And I think there's enough damage in the game to just get through a single now. If you haven't like now Atlas, dual wielding healer characters, it's over. GG. Like, you're not killing them. But she's still really, really good at winning interactions with her 6-second primary and her 10-second. Or did they bump it up to 12 now? Her insanely low cooldowns.
Yeah.
So,
I'm
good character.
I'm just gonna search up the video to try and comment because Ayla Lyra said depends on how old the video was, which could be true, right?
That could be true. Now, launch now was the laughing stock, and then first I lulled, then I serioused. People figured it out.
I'll be real though.
It's a little good.
I personally thought now was good since the very start. That's like the only correct early Omega Strikers take I've ever had.
Well, hey, that's a pretty good one to have because now is, and was and still is, pretty game defining. So, hey, lock it in.
Guys, I have bad news. The video was 12 days ago.
Oh wow! Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to inform that person that they are actually cooking it up. They know. They are knowers. I was gonna say they know something we don't. No, we guys, we know.
We know something they don't, which is definitely a very different statement than they know something we don't.
Yeah, in fact, dare I say, the exact opposite. But hey, if I'm that person, I'm hyped to be right. I'm popping off because like that means that I saw the vision, I saw the line, I had that understanding of the game on lock, and was ready to make it happen. That is me when I'm playing the most underrated character in the game. I'm gonna go find the video.
Where's Final Destination? Have they already reached their final destination?
Where did they go? Are we just not at the final destination yet? I'm above doing a smash joke here. I will not. I've stooped low, but not that low.
Yeah, the caster who was on before you was a smash caster, and he didn't make a single Final Destination joke.
Well, it could be that he might have heard 800 million of them.
Yeah, probably.
He's war hardened, coming out of the depths themselves. But hey, Final Destination has shown up, and they literally like filed in all at once, like like they just walked into the doors of the venue and sat down.
I might have been the problem. I just didn't send the lobby code until they joined.
Oh, well, hey, ask and you shall receive. He said, where are they? And then they showed up. And anything that happened in between is not important.
This is an interesting matchup, right? Final Destination, a team that you wouldn't expect to be this far in the bracket, in a bracket like this, right? Of course, they're good, but this bracket was a little stacked.
This bracket was a little stacked. Yeah, Final Destination locking in a bare minimum third is really respectable. I think all three of these players are kind of slept on. We've got Luke in the goal box who showed up and he just kind of like spawned in Pro League one day before NASL Season 2 and was insane at the game. And then I got on an NASL team, played for a little bit, just stopped playing, and then has recently come back. But like, I think he's still got it. That's crazy at the game. And like Fiery and Kilius are both on NASA teams right now, playing their respective roles, have played in NASL before. Now, all these players are really good, but I think a lot of people don't rate them as highly as I think they should.
That's me. I'm the people.
Nice to meet you, people.
I doubt it.
We speak for the people.
I doubted Final Destination. against Momo Bonanza, and I was wrong. And then I doubted Final Destination against Blastoff, and I was right. I'm gonna doubt them here.
I hate to gas them up, as I did into the hater arc, but I think this will not be Christmas's Final Destination. I think the Crusaders might go strong, but anything can happen. We as we've seen, been living in Upset City, this Ahten City Underground. I said city. I didn't want to say city twice, so I just dropped it, but then it just sounded bad, so I owned myself. Live in front of everyone. I'm a fool.
Filmed in front of a studio audience.
Here comes the laugh track.
We should do that.
That'd be really funny.
Because after we did the explosion transition for From the Ashes, I was inspired.
Production value is on the come up.
We need more MLG era transitions and laugh tracks.
I think if I was casting and knew that there could be a laugh track at any moment, I'm either like just completely stun locked, where anytime I have something to say, I'm like, am I about to get laugh tracked? Please say no. Or I go like wacky mode and just like am awful. Just like Sai, what are your thoughts on puns?
Yeah,
let me be clear, I'm not a pun guy.
Oh, okay.
I don't like the pun guy archetype, but sometimes you get the funny and little silly gene.
I prefer ham mode sandwich style over puns. I prefer the goofy.
And when you're right, you're right.
Yeah. Speaking of, that part was so good in the hype video for From the Ashes. Ratman Rob outdid himself yet again.
It hit me like a bus. And
no, but he
got every way possible.
He got all of the iconic clips, right? He got the Beta Vaughn teaming with like Cardinals and Lexus and horribly losing, but getting the insane Giga Blast save at the very end of the game. He got all of the banger clips. And then he also put in...
all of them came out.
And he put in you.
And yeah, there I was towards the end too. Oh, but...
Speaking of this Awakening rotation, that's a spark.
That's a spark. It's been like... I think it's been like 2 weeks. But... Like, I'm sick of sparks. I keep playing games and then picking sparks and then saying, I want to pick like Fun Awakenings. I don't just want to pick sparks, but picking sparks makes me win. So,
that's real.
You know, that is how it is. But anyway, we saw a Zentaro band come out from Christmas Crusaders, not letting it go through. But here comes Kazan, and you know, fatal error or just like issue with banning brawlers at all in the modern age. In our glorious 2024 meta for Mega Strikers is that Kazan and Zen are the two best brawlers in the game, and if you ban one, you've got to play against the other. So congratulations on the Zen ban. Now it's Kazan time. But a lot of teams usually favor one over the other. I know a lot of people just hate playing against Kazan, and that's real. It's real and incredibly valid, and playing against Centauro might not be much more fun, but maybe it's slightly better.
Yeah.
But your Christmas Crusaders have decided Zen is not the pick here.
Speaking of Kazan, the non-damage aspect of his gameplay is pretty strong on this map, agency-wise, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have such a wide area of influence with the hook, and you build dash in like that, and Fiery's making full use of it here. Two wildly different compositions on each side. It's the Aimi Estelle and Kazan versus Tsubu now and Mako. Two very conflicting ideals at work.
Yeah, this is a great core flip from Grimella, able to just bait out all the strikes from Final Destination and get it through. But I think you're right. Final Destination's pulling up, playing a really damage-oriented comp thrown in. And like any comp with Kazan is a damage-oriented comp, but the Amy goalie also supplementing it, and Estelle, who I think people have decided recently does pretty good damage, and hey, pretty correct. But I think that was a crazy save. But for the side of Christmas Crusaders, they're going with the creation characters, and especially this Dubu forward. But speaking of creation characters, ladies and gentlemen, the Firewall Sentry.
It's been a while since I've seen a top player get caught by Firewall Sentry like that.
It's like Strike Shotgun. Everyone falls for it sometimes, but I guess less often because it's a 30-something second cooldown instead of an 8-second cooldown.
Yeah. And Gumi, though, otherwise has been very good on the defense here. And with the Spark of Resilient start, I think the damage win condition not really in place for Final Destination, right? That's a lot of stagger to work through. And Bells, oh my, just so efficient on that scoring attempt. Summer Assault's on top of it, gets a stun down, and then guarantees it with the log.
Yeah, I think every single game in NASL that Sad Boys has played on Taiko Temple, Bells has locked Dubu. And I don't know if they've lost on it yet. And when you watch the Bells Dubu, I think you can kind of see why. He just space glides on him. Like, look at him go. He just got that barrier, and he's just striking it through them. It took the core flip to get it past him. But now Fiery has a core flip of his own, which is pretty threatening here.
Well, Dubu is a character that he can go full Bells mode on, right? Only scoring, not really finding too many KOs. Is Fiery going for a little bit of scoring on his own with the Kazan hook, keeping it up for himself, and that's the core control of the Kazan at work. But it's very uncertain what's going to happen in this come-in set, because a lot of it does have to do with how well Fiery plays this corner.
Yeah, he's got to pull out the core control Kazan save abilities for the offense to make sure he's able to get it in the corner and get it through this Mako, who's just Mako now. Imagine playing against Mako now. That doesn't sound like any amount of fun, but here they are, and here Gumi is able to get it out of the corner there really nicely. I think a big thing in this game too, we're on a humble 0.5, is Spark Start. Someone's gonna be stacking Sparks, and who it is will be game defining. Who gets that Spark of Leadership eventually will kind of decide the game. But Bells with a little dribble with the Glizzy, unfortunately not able to catch it, but trying to make something happen here. Oh, but so is Fiery.
Gramel has to flip. Gramel has to get there in time. Steals it away from Fiery, who tries to hook it forward as Bells tries to get the log through, but Luke is defending quite well. The fast core from Gumi down to Gramel, up to Bells, but Luke again in the right place at the right time, up to Fiery, and that means Final Destination, they get priority in this draft. It could be a Spark of Leadership immediately.
Right, Kilius loading up his first pick, might just get that Spark of Leadership. Congratulations, Kilius. Cinema. Picking the Spark Start, not taking the extra special, has been rewarded. We still see Spark of Strength on lock, able to be picked up by anyone that isn't Gramella or Luke, who both took extra special. But wow, what a Final Destination favorite draft. We see Fiery picking up that heavy impact. Luke getting the stagger swagger, not letting it get to Christmas Crusaders at all, and just speed is good. Gramella picked up that hot shot, and Bells picked up nice edge. It's pretty good, but like
Spark of Leadership. Oh yeah.
Billy's got Spark of Leadership, and I think it is slightly game warping.
Also, speaking of just like random observations, that Estelle skin, I have not seen that Estelle skin in a while.
Oh, that's the one I use. I see it every time I play Estelle.
Oh well, maybe you should play Estelle
right, but
more
how
often.
often?
Yeah.
Yeah, Wait, how often do you see me play Estelle?
How often
No,
do I see
used
you,
to have.
and how often do I see you on Estelle? You know, it's that sort
Yeah.
of thing.
Good questions all around. I don't know. It's called Red Rose Estelle. It's just the red Estelle skin. I say that goes hard. But no, I used to use the summer Estelle skin, and I stopped. And I think I'm a better man for it. Anyway, Fiery killed that guy.
Yeah, Grimel is not existent anymore as Kilius links up to the top side, gets the snipe through, and Fiery with so much patience is continuing to put down pressure onto Gumi, trying to slip it through, getting a pass to Kilius, who has flip available, choosing not to use it yet, stunning away Bells, and maybe this greed will cost him a little bit if Bells can make a play. The hook from Fiery not so successful still. Can they make it happen here? A good snipe and Kilius. That was so greedy and it worked.
Yeah, a crazy snipe, just saying like I'm just gonna try and get it through Grimella right here, right now, and he was able to, and now Final Destination is kind of running away with this game here. I think Fiery is playing really, really well, capitalizing on a lot of opportunities that Kilius is giving him, and Kilius too, just like using these Estelle abilities really well to get through and make the most of the opportunities. So like you have to get it through Fiery, and then get it through Kilius, and then you have to get it through Luke, who just made an insane couple saves on that barrier there, finally going down, but still, like, game is a little rough for the Christmas Crusaders, I think.
And it'll only get even more rough if they lose it here, and Fiery puts it in with the open primary. This draft is even scarier as we head into the spark of leadership Kilius to his first pick.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
and no sparks are good, but a lot of good Estelle awakenings. Fight or Flight, Primetime, Quick Strike, all up right now. Opting for the Quick Strike, which, hey, yeah, good midfield awakening, but that means Grimella is picking up Fight or Flight, and hey, Fight or Flight Slick Kicks is a great way to outspeed the enemy midfielder and win the midfield. Gumi also picking up Chrono Boost, which is just an exceptional awakening. That's Maka with the dash training. It's time to get in there and speed up your forwards right now.
Bells.
Oh wait, Bell's picked up Demo. He's so big!
That guy's massive, but will it make the difference is the question, because Bells has not been able to touch the core that much at all so far. It's been the Kilius Fiery show. They've been pushing it through the corner over and over again, and even when it gets out, Luke just sends it right back in. This time though, Bells gets it one strike and it's already away from him again and again. Like, this guy's not being allowed to play the game, and that's why Final Destination is winning right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Bell's just getting knocked around. Going for the orb, getting the now healing. Looking nice, but Fiery is on his case, and with a little bit of help from Luke, Bell's is now staggered. And gets hooked away. With Bells down, it's Christmas Crusaders playing defense once more, but Grimella also gets staggered and knocked out. I hate to see it, but now Gumi is no longer 1v3, 1v2. Or, I mean, 2v3. A little bit of numbers with Bells.
Oh.
But the offense being put up by Fiery and Kilius is just so oppressive here.
And Kilius has flipped. The turret comes down, and Bells is going to have to create some magic here. One barrier taken, but was looking for the gap to get two. Trying so much, but Kilius will find the KO out of absolutely nowhere, getting Bells off the top side and Fiery to the bottom side. A little too predictable for Gumi, who's seen that a million times. Luke now with a lot of meter built up, and Fiery with the flip as well. The passing plays continue for Final Destination as Fiery finds the last hit in. They're 2 points away from getting a rematch in Grands.
Yeah. And they are fighting right now to take that rematch against Blastoff, who is sitting comfortably in Grands right now. Both these teams getting knocked out by Blastoff, looking to get it. But here Bells going absolutely ham in the corner. But Luke and Kilius, with a little bit of help from Fiery too, who walked back, able to save those barriers. And again, we both said, yeah, I think Christmas Crusaders are favorite here, but with how well Final Destination is playing, I think this might just be their game to win.
I doubted them versus Bunba Bonanza, and then they made it happen. I'm doubting them versus Christmas Crusaders, and they're at a striker advantage, 2 points away from winning the entire thing. Luke is playing fantastically. Fiery just intercepted that flip from Gumi. Bell is trying to create some of the magic, but the core slips away just a little, barely. Achilles now getting the core away. The Toku Fortress doesn't find it. Bells with possession, but no, the gamble doesn't pay off, and Luke sends it forward, burning the passive strike from Gumi. Bells now defended away by Luke again. Fiery with one pull to the top side. Gumi there, but for how much longer? Because the core is speeding up. Bells struck away by Luke. Grumella this time with possession, but Kilius gets it again, and Fiery now has cooldowns up available. Hook to the bottom side, past Grumella and Gumi for the second goal.
Yeah, what a great shot by Fiery. Just poking it through. And that is a little bit of Kazan close strike in overtime. That thing goes a little quickly. A little hard to deal with, hard to react to. And yeah, I don't know. We're at match point here, and I really want to believe in Christmas Crusaders here, but it's looking a little tough.
Yeah, it's definitely not going to be easy as Luke and Kilius. Wait a second, Bells from the top ropes. The barriers are open. This is exactly the time in which Bells makes the comeback, activates fully, as Grumel has flipped as well. Bells with so much core control for the moment, but it slips away back to Gumi. And there's so many ways to intercept for Final Destination. Luke with a glitch pop, maybe even a cyber swipe, but a great stun by Bells, forcing the core downwards, but unpunished is Luke. The firewall sentry is there to hug the core. Bells now with the flip, will try to use it, but Gumi is having so much trouble getting it away from Fiery and Kilius. Bells now trying to do a centered flip here. A great flip from Luke. The particle accelerator will go away, but the flip will be a little too fast, and the Christmas Crusaders are not out of it yet.
Yeah, Bells turned it up to an 11 right there, and I might be beginning to believe the spirit of Christmas might still be with us today, in February, March even. The months are going by a little bit too quickly. We're gonna get to Christmas again soon. But oh my god, the core speed on this map is going insane right now.
That was a
little
little
bit of core
scary.
flips, a little bit of taiko drums.
Bells almost got the core right in front of both barriers, almost had the angle to get both, but not quite, and Kilius is patrolling the midfield. Fiery as well, stuck in jail for now, but gets out, continues sending the core forwards. Bells wins the strike war, gets the log through, but Luke is there. The Kilius-Luke double goalie coverage is perfect this game.
It is so hard for Bells to get it through here, especially when he gets knocked out there and the barriers are dropped. Things are looking bad for Christmas right now. Fiery and Kilius posturing to make something happen.
Oh!
A great blink from Kilius is going to put it in the bottom corner, and that Final Destination has killed Christmas.
This was the Christmas Crusaders' Final Destination.
Yeah, and that's that. Now Final Destination will be going on to face Fudgy Waffles, Drew, and Frightfully Fresh in grand finals of this Ahten City Underground.
What a game. Final Destination.
Yeah, I'm taken aback.
Also, this Hungry Boy guy might be a prediction savant, because I remember he lost like 250,000 on like a favorable prediction, but he already made it all the way back by predicting here.
Oh my god.
There's built different.
Third eye is open. Wowee.
Oh, you have lobby owner. You need to kick Gumi and Bells right now.
I'm owner of the lobby. Goodbye, Christmas. I'm gonna miss you.
It's really funny that you're saying that with the Santa hat on your head.
I'm a small Christmas fan. I am God's weakest Christmas fan, and this is my attire every day. But yeah, taking a peek at the bracket, all that's left. We're here, grand finals, final destination or blast off. This will be, for either team, the final destination. But now it comes down together. This is cinema.
Upset City Underground, as Castafiore says.
Yeah, and that's real. That is real. I think I touched on it incredibly briefly earlier, but it just kind of goes to show that you can be like 3 of the best players in each of your roles, and like show up, come together, and play a weekly. But it might not be as easy as that. You know, some of these teams, or rather, I think a lot of these teams full of Nassau players that weren't playing at the level that their Nassau teams would be, and that is because they have experience with their Nassau teams already. That is my bottom line, is team synergy is real, I think. Well, welcome to my TED Talk about Omega Strikers team synergy.
Yeah, and as we're TED Talking, make sure to put your predictions in. This is the final series of the night at Ahten City Underground, and this could really go either way. Again, I will be doubting Final Destination, but that they've had a pretty good record when being doubted.
that they have. I think you're onto something here. All that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I'll take the plunge. I think Blastoff is a pretty good team. Fudgy Waffles and Drew are the PLX duo, showing up and playing pretty well, and they've got Frightfully Fresh in the box, who just like is a Nassau goalie.
Yeah,
like he's got his job down pretty well, pretty good at this.
For those who have come from the Bell stream, get your predictions in now. Bestie Bucks have never been so influx because Final Destination has been creating the upsets again and again. So get your predictions in. I have no idea where this is gonna go.
It, as with literally every game in this entire tournament, it could go either way. But hey, I'm seeing someone in chat say, I'm so poor. Hey, 99% of gamblers quit before they win big. Scrape up those pennies. It's time to make a miracle happen. Gamble today. Gamble now.
Not everyone can be like Hungry Boy, who somehow manages to create new fortunes right after he loses them.
Hey, but that's what I'm saying, is that you can. It's time to bring it in.
But for this first game of Grands, well, the only game of Grands, and we might see Grands reset later, Oni is off the table, Gates and Inkies are off the table, Tycho and Demon are off the table. It's looking like Atlas Lab or Night Market. We've been here before.
I'm very familiar with these two maps, also known as the maps that everyone picks all the time, every match. And that's fine. They're both two pretty good maps. We've actually been seeing, I think, more Tycho than I can stomach for one day. So
we're gonna see a lot of Tycho tomorrow as well, I think.
There's a lot of Tycho in our futures, I think, but hey, a lot of people like the map, and I think the map enables a lot of really interesting character picks and strategies that I don't think a lot of other maps do. Like, Night Market is pretty solved. I don't know. There's options. You can pick a double brawler. You can, I don't know, pick a normal team, but like a lot of picks, like now is the midfielder, I guess, of this patch, just in general, but of Night Market. such a good pick. You can Era X. Actually, I'm just stupid. Night Market has a lot of interesting strategies. Anyway, who cares about Night Market?
Who cares about Night Market? We're on a prize fighter Atlas Lab.
Oh! Oh no!
This is gonna be an exciting grand. That's all I'm gonna say.
This is going to be an exciting grand. Prize fighter start is always the thermometer face, vomiting face, a disgusting game, and so we might see some rancid gameplay come out. As I completely missed the bans. I like visually took in the information and didn't process any of it. But we're either seeing a Kazan or a Drew. Sorry. Whoa. A Kazan or a Zentaro come out from Drew.
They're really deciding. I think Zentaro would be the favorite pick here, right? Just a little bit better at putting out the consistent damage, I feel like. But they're going for the Kazan. Now or Juno is a question. I think now on a prize fighter start, but maybe they'll disagree with me the second time in a row. No? No, never mind. I'm right.
Yep. Fudgy Waffles locking in the now. Is pretty fond of the pick. I feel like every game I see him on the now. And looking in here, we also see Luke on the now goalie. And I'll be a hater. I'll say it. I don't think now goalie is great. I guess I don't think it's bad. But like now midfield is just so much stronger.
Blastoff hates prize fighter.
Yeah, and I was about to say triple BD coming out from Blastoff could really negatively impact them. I think size is an exceptional stat on Kazan. You get your bigger primaries. I guess you get bigger secondaries, but they're already pretty big. But not taking prize fighter on Kazan, it seems a little rough. And Fiery here, showing last game, really that he is familiar with the KO game. He can make it happen, stack on that damage, and get the KOs where it matters. So we could see Fiery and Kilius just spiral out into a prize fighter mess. That being said, Kilius and Fiery are both dying horribly right now. So it's Fudgy Waffles though. If this guy gets knocked out by Fiery, that could just be GG for the set. That guy could just start scaling to the moon, get super strong, super quickly. There he goes. Hey, and I'd like to congratulate Final Destination for getting the bracket reset. and they've done it.
Well, maybe they haven't done it quite yet, but they're definitely in a position to do so, especially with Luke, so efficient on this now goalie pick. But wait a second, where'd that prize fighter go?
Hey, and congratulations to Blastoff for evening up this game. Just kidding.
Yeah, it is funny how the format is. So it's bracket reset best of 1, which is basically game advantage best of 3. But if you combine it with winners finals, it's basically a best of 3, right?
True. Wait, yeah, that's
basically
crazy.
a best of 3. So it's the Fudgy Waffles Killiest final best of 3 for the ego check.
Yeah. Wow. So it all comes down to this. It's Kilius is down a game right now. Gonna have to win this one and the next one if he wants to win the longest ego check known to man. Is standing strong. Both these players, instead of goalie ego checking now in the midfield, but with how this game is looking so far, looking ever so slightly Final Destination favored. So we might be seeing that third game of the ego check pan out.
But there's a lot of balance going on. Another KO onto Drew. And with that, maybe they'll be able to find something here. Maybe a goal, but Fiery can't quite find it yet. A pass up, a flip used to the top side, but a good flip on defense as well. Luke will not let that barrier fall. And Fiery is the one who is low. A KO here would be huge, but they don't find it. A great shot by Fiery.
Yeah. Really well done. I want to shout out Luke for making a great clear after Fudgy, or maybe Fresh, I'm just looking at their energy bars, caught Fiery's core flip with one of their own. Luke warped back with the now and stopped it. That was a really big save. But now we're in an interesting situation where, first of all, Final Destination barriers are gone. That's that. But Kilius has 2 prize fighter stacks, and Fiery has 0. You know, that's not the guy you want the prize fighter stacks on, but you know, Kilius could make something happen with this extra power. They try and feed Fiery some more prize fighter stacks, or just start killing people. In either way, Final Destination has taken both barriers just like that, and is now very close to just winning this set.
But it's not over yet for the side of Blast Off. They can very well score these goals here, especially with the meter situation on their side. But Luke has been piloting this now goalie quite well, a pick that has been doubted quite a bit, I think, by a lot of players. But, you know, maybe he just loses there as Drew open primaries the core in.
Yeah, perhaps the people were right. But it could also be that Drew is playing the Kazan character, and pretty good at it too. Now Kilius with the core flip. Drew using one. Barriers being traded. Oh, Kilius with a demonic barrage, almost getting it through both Fudgy and Fresh. Not quite able to. And Kilius and Luke also have core flips. The energy economy for Final Destination is looking exceptional right now. And with both of Blastoff's barriers down. Oh!
What a save!
I was gonna say it might be in, but then they saved it. But then Fiery was there to catch it, and so an exceptional play from both ends. Anyway, welcome back to the Spark of Leadership show.
Guys,
it will always appear set 1.
Who was it?
Without fail.
Who put 30,000 down on Final Destination as soon as Spark of Leadership showed up? You know there's a reset, right? There's still a reset to play through.
But hey, they've got Spark of Leadership 2 games in a row. And it could be the difference maker. Here we see Fudgy Waffles picking up that Fighter Flight, which, again, Slick Kick's Fighter Flight, really strong, really nice to see, and I think now can make great use of it. Just having a ton of speed, getting speed from her secondary, being able to run around quickly and do some strike primary action. Really strong. Luke, very interestingly, picking up 1-2 punch, which, if nothing else, is just great for dribbling on any character, for comboing like a strike primary, literally anything. But I'm very curious to see if the extra damage that it can put out will come into play here on this now. It could be very threatening. And Fiery picking up Unstoppable, which I think is really, really interesting into Asher goalie, because her primary has a few hits. It has the initial hit that catches the core, and then the big hit that wins every interaction. But if you don't hit that first hit, then the unstoppable value is insane, because you can just tank the big hit and then, try and do something with the core. But of course, the Asher Shield also has the passive that shows up. So, hey, maybe it's not as good.
Oh, but Drew getting all of the core speed in overtime with a dribble to himself with the open primary. I don't think they expected that core to move so fast. A little hard to react to, but yeah, as you were saying, that Unstoppable proving to be very good for Fiery, who is keeping possession even more efficiently in the corner thanks to it. There's a lot of single hitters other than Kazan, and when Drew's on the other side of the map, Fiery is basically only against people with 1 hit, unless there's like a pass splitter, but you know.
Yeah, it's hey, there it is. I think a big thing for Unstoppable in the forward position at all is just being able to maintain it, because playing forward, you're just going to get hit by a lot of things. Like Fiery just got tapped by a Now Mine, now walking around, got tapped by another Now Mine. Doesn't matter, because Fiery and Kilius will be putting it in right there, tying up the set. But it's an uphill battle trying to keep the Unstoppable shield. But once you have it, and once you're in that corner, like you said, it is so useful, because you can make so much happen. You can also tank the Atlas Lab Black Hole, which is something I've never thought of, but could prove to be some exceptional utility for putting on damage, getting kills. Now Fiery with 3 prize fighter stacks, Kilius with 2. Fiery with the flip and unstoppable. Things are looking great for Final Destination right now.
Yeah, Fudgy Waffles just hasn't really been able to play the game all that much, right? Has been forced to stand back next to Fresh so often. But the moment he does get to play the game, that's a barrier taken. Fudgy trying to get it past Kilius. Drew in the open net. And the flip burned crucially by Luke. Suddenly, the entire game's turned around.
Yeah, what looked like a Final Destination insane winning point has just been flipped on its head. And now Blast Off is 1 point away from tying this game. You know, with the offense that they're putting up right here, they could make it happen.
Fresh has flip. Fresh can push up anytime, and Drew is building up the meter as well as Fudgy. If they can get a little bit of core control, the strike shot attempted, but the triangle's too good. Drew flipped to the center, but Luke is there this time. Fiery now controlling the core with the primary, past the black hole, past Fudgy. The barrier taken. I didn't even think it was taken, actually. I thought Fudgy defended that, but I guess I was wrong.
Almost, but now 2 flips in this corner. And Fudgy puts it in, dare I say, hits the Fudgy angle off the inner wall in that goal. A great flip, able to sneak it right past Luke, and that'll be a blast off set. And a couple sparks on the board here. Agility and focus. You know, Drew's got to be hoping for one of them, but here Kilius in the draft beforehand is guaranteed one, and Fiery is picking up explosive entrance, which I think is an interesting pick. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Zentaro talk real quick. I've been trying to figure out whether explosive entrance or heavy impact is better ever since the Awakening dropped. And it's so hard, because before it was just Super Surge. Because that just gave you like 30% damage to all your important moves. But now heavy impact gives you a ton of CDR and extra damage. But explosive entrance gives you dash range. And here we see Fiery prioritizing the dash range over the damage in CDR. And I think it could pan out, but you know, maybe that extra CDR and damage could be favored. But Kilius getting knocked out here, losing a prize fighter stack.
Yeah,
I had something to say about damage and I just lost it, so hey, all you.
It's an interesting spot, especially with the spark of leadership picking up that additional speed on Kilius, right? But that doesn't matter if Drew is being so efficient with these goals. They really need to win it here before the team of Final Destination scales any further, and I do think that Blast Off are making it happen right now. Drew is at the right place at the right time every single time, and Fiery is not getting past Fresh.
Yeah, Fresh is holding it down on the Asher. Ever since the changes came in, Fresh has been a big Asher fan, and I think he might be heralding the new age of melee goalies on this Asher pick, making it look incredibly strong every time he plays it. It's just so hard to get through. It's almost all, like, her entire kit is in her primary. Her ult is pretty good. Me when I split the path, but her dash is nothing to write home about. But none of that matters if you just press your primary button and save everything, you know, and then generate a ton of energy off your ult, and then just be core flipping every 2 seconds.
And when Fresh holds, the team of Blast Off gets that many more opportunities. Fudgy and Drew will eventually whittle down the defenses of Luke, because as well as Luke is playing the now goalie, the defense is not nearly as good as that of the Asher.
Right. Oh! And Fudgy hitting a great primary into core flip on Fiery there. A little bit of, I believe people have been calling that the Kai Noob KO, is something that he does very frequently. So very big play, getting that guy off the field for a little bit, and taking the prize fighter stack away from him as well. Now both players picking the prize fighter, Achilles and Fiery on Final Destination, not having it, but a very, very unfortunate miss on the barrier there. for Blast Off means that Final Destination still has a little bit of fight left in them.
Yeah,
Drew has an opportunity to take this point.
Drew's incredibly low. That could have decided the fate of the point completely, because Drew's about to be taken out, gets the elusive just in time. The barrier's finally taken, and they can't find a KO on Drew, so maybe it didn't matter, because Drew is still staying alive.
Yeah, and despite showing up to the field in a full body cast, aching and groaning with every movement, still able to put it in.
That's the power of Drew listening to Goku Super Saiyan 3, Stereo Saiyan 3D.
Yeah, this truly is what it means to go further beyond. And now Fudgy Waffles picking up that spark of resilience. Not having any sparks before, but preventing Kilius from scaling any further with those sparks. And hey, like, having that extra health is going to be really nice. Drew picking up the recovery drone, which a lot of people have been talking about how recovery drone into like a full damage comp stinks.
But it's size.
Because you die and then you come back and then you die again. But one, it's size. This guy is like 60% larger. He's so big. And two, I'm pretty sure you don't get a prize fighter stack when someone is recovered. So
yeah.
that means that Fiery and Kilius have to work twice as hard. But Drew, recovery drone already burned. No prize fighter stacks gained for the side of Final Destination, but Fiery looking to lose his. And with Harry staggered right here, dangerous situation. But Drew also low. Oh, Fiery's been shot dead.
That prize fighter stack on is so rough, and fresh Manu deny against Luke is actually pretty good, because this guy's Plat Splitters got really scary all of a sudden when he throws them across the map with that strike shot boosted range. Drew in there, so many hits, defended away, an open primary at the very end. This Drew guy is popping off at the perfect moment.
Yeah, he is had a great offense put up there, and I'm amazed that Final Destination was able to save it, but pulling up with the open primary at such a
Drew
and pulling up with all the Kazan tips and tricks. He has them on lock, just getting all the abilities down. He is very, very familiar with both of Kazan's forms, and once again at 60% size, this character is so obnoxious to deal with, and you know, hitting those abilities when you're this big becomes that much easier.
Becomes a bit of a scoring machine in front of the net. Drew, one ability is going to be all it takes. A pull attempted, not quite, but it's like a horror game for Luke. Every clear is not safe. You have to make it happen here. Still, a flip available, but Luke has to be so careful near the edge as well. And Fresh finally loses one barrier, but the other one stays up. Kilius is so low as well. Drew can threaten the KO here, and has so much room to play with as Fudgy has flip. Fresh and Fudgy can just pass it through to the top side, mixing Luke up, burning the flip. 1 point away, and the goalie has no meter.
Right, goalie no meter. Fudgy has an entire core flip. Fiery does too, but gonna have to make some crazy offensive play to get value out of it. Otherwise, we're at tournament point. This could be the end right here, right now.
And they're trying to kill Drew. They're spending every cooldown available because this guy is having the tournament of his life right now. Kilius and Fiery have meter, trying to find this barrier desperately, but Fresh and Fudgy do not let it go down. The Path Splitter, the Monumentalist, the primary, everything to defend, and the striker advantage ends. Fiery trying to get the KO, but Fudgy with the spark of resilience is so healthy. They just can't find anything. Blast Off is in such a good spot still, and they don't even lose the barrier.
Yeah, and there goes Final Destination's barrier, but this is their moment. This is their time to shine. Fiery popping the Atlas Lab Black Hole with the Unstoppable. Mounting an offense here, trying to get it through, but Waffles KO'd.
Oh, and a little bit of a misplay by Drew, who's been so good so far. Hits it directly into the geometrical apparatus of Luke, and unfortunately it goes right around Fresh into the net, but everyone gets one of those, and Drew has been such a monster so far, but self-damaging like that might not be what they're looking for here.
No, absolutely not. Fiery expending most of his kit, get that bottom barrier, able to get it, and every barrier counts against this Asher goalie, who is just an absolute menace on the defense. Now sitting with the core flip too, going to be really hard to get through, but taking a little bit of damage from the black hole. The Final Destination might be able to capitalize off that, but Drew has something to say with the core flip, and Luke using his to try and save it, just like milliseconds away from getting it.
Fudgy.
Things are looking really rough for Final Destination once again.
Fudgy has flipped. Drew is low, but still lurking down, trying to get a play in, and gets a lot of healing down as well. Flip from Fudgy. Off the black hole. If Kilius wasn't there, that was a goal. But another try will have to be attempted by Fudgy, who's dribbling all over everyone. Flip forced out of Kilius, and Fresh has not even had to think about using core flip yet. The pass splitter is perfect. Fiery, no chance. Drew with the core speed to the bottom side, and Luke gets the clear for now. Fresh with the meter. The KO found onto Kilius, and Drew now with overtime speed with one hook. All that it takes to make it happen. Fiery though, forcing the flip out. Fudgy to Drew, trying to find it, but the core is being stalled away by Final Destination. The meter is being used as Kilius is trying to chip Drew down, almost dying in the process, but staying alive as Fiery putting up some offense with Drew to the top side, defended away by Luke. It's such a scary position to be in though, because Luke has to be right every single time, but Kilius, the hero, finds the barrier, finds a chance for Final Destination to continue this game. A pass up, trying to get to Fiery, the dribble to Fiery, but the strike war won by Frightfully Fresh yet again. Fudgy keeping the core up, and he's already built up another flip. And if Fudgy waffles, no, it's just Drew with the pull, and that's it. That is Blast Off taking Ahten City Underground number 3.
Yeah, wow. What an insane final point. There were so many times that I thought that it was just over for Final Destination, but they were able to hold on. And like you said, Kilius making some hero plays out there on the respawn. Luke and especially Fiery, when Kilius was down, making some insane plays just to keep the core out of Blastoff's hands and stay in the game. But in the end, Blastoff taking it from winner's side, locking it in. No grand finals reset. That's going to be the tournament. Big win for these players.
And I believe that is Drew's first tournament win. Big milestone for that guy who's been playing so well this tournament.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely one of the up and coming brawlers. It gets a lot of play in NASA, I believe. And just on PLX has a team. A lot of people have been talking about how he is an exceptional player, and he's putting it on display right now for everyone to see. Clocking in a big tournament win. And yeah, he played a great game. Made it happen.
Yep. Well,
yep.
That was one of the craziest tournaments in Omega Strikers history. I don't think there will be quite a tournament like this until we do another LAN, and then people enter after the LAN, and crazy things happen.
Yeah, hey, stay tuned for the weekly after the next LAN, where we'll get something this exciting. But hey, I don't know. I feel like after the LAN, there's been such a renewed interest in playing the game. Now next couple weeks might be really interesting. So I know I will be keeping my eyes firmly peeled across all weeklies coming up. I think we've got some exciting Omega Strikers times ahead. If this tournament was any indication, and wow, it is indicating a lot to me right now about some of the players lurking in the shadows, trying to make their big tournament debuts.
Yeah. But that's it. We're going to end stream soon because that was a good tournament. And honestly, I'm glad we're in the all best of 1 tournament era. I'm so glad that I don't have to go to sleep at 3 a.m. and then wake up for Nassel the next morning,
Rise and shine. Last night was a best of 3 with bracket reset. Yay! The best of one tournaments have been incredibly nice. It is such a chill vibe. But yeah, hey, I'm all out of yaps. I don't got anything left.
Yeah, well, that's it. See
Wait,
ya. Wait, actually, who do we
I'm
raid?
not out of yap.
Who do we raid?
I was just looking at that. I'm not sure, but actually, big, and not that big. It's expected, but Team Player Tuesday coming up next Tuesday, the 5th.
Oh yeah.
Go sign up. Start.gg/teamplayer5. It's the 5th one.
I guess we can raid Birdie.
That sounds like a good move.
Yeah.
Anyway, now I'm out of yaps.
Yeah. Now we're gone. Goodbye. Be right
Goodbye.
big
Have
screen.
fun.